którym wszystkie mechanizmy funkcjonują prawidłowo, a procesy same się regulują. Na przykład, kiedy biegamy, zwiększa się aktywność układu krążeniowo-oddechowego, a zwalnia praca układu trawienia.
Origins, they didn't get him for that because they could only get Troy Baker. I mean, it's funny, like whenever a game needs a voice actor and they aren't sure who to give it to, they're like, call Troy, it'll be fine. And sure enough, they did it for the Joker too. But one of the great perks of using the Unreal Engine for the development of this whole franchise is that they were able to recycle assets from game to game, which again helps maintain a consistent visual style throughout because they don't have to recreate everything every time they sit down to make a sequel. I also remember this being one of the first games where I could really appreciate the motion capture performances. Every little detail, every step, every glance is motion captured, which nowadays is par for the course. It's very standard, but back in 2009 when this came out, that was not at all standard. It was something relegated just for very select AAA narrative games, and that's it. Can we also just take a second to appreciate the opening of this game? Like, not many games open with you having already accomplished what you would have thought was the ultimate goal of the game, which is to capture the Joker. We start there and then work backwards from that. It's just an interesting flip on the premise, but it builds to the idea that the Joker is much more capable than he seems because he's able to plan out this great escapade that eventually takes place over the course of the game. Seriously, just every little bit of these scenes, the performances, it's all just so fantastically well done. This takes him hostage. Takes him out. We'll skip around. And then we see Harley. And the Joker breaks out. And then right back to gameplay. And in many cases, the gameplay looks just as good as the cutscenes, which again, back at this time was not common. And this is also our introduction to the free flow combat system, which to this day is tremendous, but especially back in 2009, the closest thing to this system was probably what we saw in the Assassin's Creed games, which were animation paired systems, which basically means you press the attack button, it plays out an animation, and then you go and you parry with a button, which pairs up in an animation to their attack, and everything ties in like that. But this is a totally free-flowing system that doesn't rely on animation pairing. It's totally fluid, and it works great. Now, I'm also on record as having said I think the best way to play these games is on hard with the attack notifications turned off, because I think they're kind of overplayed. I don't think you need them half the time. Once you kind of get back into the swing of the combat, you don't really need it, and you can just bounce between targets like this, and it's not very difficult. So if you're gonna play through these games again, I highly recommend that you go through without the normal difficulty on hard, so you don't see those attack notifiers. I just think they're overused. So that's the opening. Let's see what the later game has to offer. Okay, so we are much later in the game exploring the warden's office, and I mean, again, just the level design, all of the little detail work, it's all tremendously well executed. Even today, I insist this game looks great. Sure, we're playing on PC, but still, I mean, look at this. I don't know about you guys, but I remember the very first time I ever played this game. It was on my dad's old work laptop, which was, like, in hindsight, it must have been basically a potato. But at the time, it was far and away the best computer in the house. And so I played this game on that laptop, and I still remember where I got the copy of the game. It was at an estate sale when we lived in Texas when I don't remember how long. I was little, and we went to this estate sale, and it was so sketchy because there were kids there. There was like a whole family. Their entire house was fully intact. And the kids were sitting around, and the family was sitting around, and literally everything they owned was for sale and had stickers on it. And later we found out the dad had like been involved in some crazy scheme and scam and millions in back taxes. It was like a whole thing. So basically every possession in their house was seized and was being put up for sale. Among those was this copy of this video game for like $10. Was a PC copy of the game. And at the time, I mean, I was young enough that I didn't really understand what was going on. I was like 12 or 13. So I just thought, oh, this is weird. Like, everything in this house is for sale. This game looks cool. I'll get that with my allowance. Whatever. Now looking back, I wish I hadn't have bought it, because it probably would have stayed with the kid if it hadn't been sold. But either way, I mean, it's one of those memories that I have, and I kind of feel bad about it, even though it's really, like, it's not my fault. It's the kid's stupid father's fault, but I still feel, it hurts my heart. Like, I feel bad. He didn't do anything wrong. You know, and then I come along and I take his stuff. Like, so after you beat the main campaign, you can actually continue exploring the rest of the asylum grounds and collecting Riddler trophies, completing little side missions, finding collectibles, that type of thing. And it's really cool because it still feels worth exploring. There's a lot of puzzles to be found and completed. But the tone certainly shifts without the imminent danger of the Joker from the asylum. Like, you're still, like, you feel like you're cleaning up, basically. But what I do immediately pick up on going back to this game is the sense of ambition and scope. Like, clearly the developers put a lot into this. They have a pretty large map. They've got all of this stuff with different areas of Botanical Gardens, Arkham North, the intensive treatment unit, the medical facility, the penitentiary itself, and then the mansion at the far end of the island. And it's a pretty expansive map. There's a lot here, but you still get the sense that they wanted to do even more. They wanted to go bigger and badder. And you can find multiple Easter eggs in the game signaling what they wanted to do for Arkham City, which, of course, they eventually did just a couple of years later. It really didn't take them that long. And it just goes to show you, like, a game like this, I'm sure was a tough pitch. Like, you're saying we want to do a dark, gritty, grounded Batman game, and we want a big budget, but it's going to be beautiful, graphically impressive, and it's going to do really, really well, we promise. And then, once we do that and we've proven to you that this concept works for a game, we want to build out an entire city and build the game in that city. And I'm sure Warner Brothers said, okay, we'll make this first game successful and we'll talk about it. This game was tremendously successful, and then they wrote him a blank check to make Batman Arkham City, and it ended up being one of, in my opinion, the best games of the last 20 years, easily. It's the first game I ever 100% completed, and it's still very special in my heart. I love it dearly. But you know, it all started with this game. It all started here. And it wouldn't have happened. The other 3 games in the franchise never stood a chance if this foundation hadn't been set. And like I said, the tone was established in this game. It didn't start anywhere else. It started here. And the colors palette, the artistic scheme, everything is consistent and coherent throughout the entire franchise. And those decisions were made here. You know, and even now, all these years later, I'm still going back to these save files, and then I discover little trophies and trinkets. Like, I'm sure I found that trophy back in the day. I'm sure I found it back playing this on my dad's old laptop. But now going back, it's been long enough that I can appreciate all these things again and discover these secrets once again. And that's kind of what this little series is for. It's going back to these games and trying them again with a fresh perspective and feeling refreshed and seeing something that I haven't seen in a long time. And it makes you appreciate all of these games and all the work that went into them. Because I know now in the age of AAA game design, we're used to just bouncing from like latest release to the next release to the next release. We never really take a moment to just sit down and smell the roses when we really should, because there's so much out there that's just tremendous. And this game is one of those tremendous things. And honestly, like, coming back to this, it does kind of tickle my heartstrings. I remember the afternoons, those hot Texas afternoons spent playing this game and having just a great time with it. It was really one of my first introductions to sort of darker, grittier games, which eventually I would basically form a career off of critiquing and evaluating. I love it. It's special to me. And maybe you're looking at this and you're like, oh, I don't get it. But my guess is if you're still watching this video, this is tickling your heartstrings as well to see all of this again. And I would encourage you, go give it another shot. It's not a long game. If I recall correctly, Arkham Asylum is only 10 or so hours long. It's something you could easily play in a weekend. It's worth going back to. It's really tremendous. Oh yeah, and this is one of my favorite things. These interviews that you find and collect with different patients that you interact with over the course of the game. It's a great way to build lore, and I just love it. I have a girlfriend. I love it. The other thing that this makes me really appreciate is just how many bold and different ideas for games we got in like the late 2000s and early 2010s. We saw so many fresh ideas and bold moves and decisions, and we just, I don't know, I feel like we don't see that anywhere near as often. Like, we get sequels to the sequel to the sequel to the sequel, and it never really feels like we get anything really crazy new or fresh. Like, yeah, we're looking at games like Starfield, and we got Cyberpunk 2077. We've gotten some new IP here and there, but even those are just sort of reworked ideas that have already been out there. They don't feel quite as fresh or novel as completely reforming an idea or a previously established cliche or niche in the form of like a reworked, gritty, grounded superhero. So I don't see that. But you know what? I should probably stop there. I can feel my voice going out. I'm sure you can do it too. I don't want to push it because I still have a couple of critiques to record in the next few days, so I'm not going to go crazy. But I do want to say thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for checking out that Arkham Asylum. Again, I remember why I love this game so much, and hopefully this tickled that fancy for you as well. Maybe you'll give it a shot this week. I don't know, if you're going to go back to it, let me know. I think maybe. As always, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, where we stream these games when I'm not sick. And subscribe if you want to get notified of new videos, because that's a thing YouTubers are supposed to ask about. But much love, I appreciate
We find ourselves in Middle Europe of the year 1400, the Dark Middle Ages.
CD Projekt Red has finally announced The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt's complete CD Projekt Red has finally announced The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt's Complete Edition's release date. Now, for those of you guys who don't know what the Complete Edition is, it's basically a next-gen version of Witcher 3's Wild Hunt, which is already released a couple years ago, and now CDPR decided to re-release the game and rework on the game's engine and make the graphics and gameplay performance and so many things much better looking and performing than what the original vanilla version of the game looks like. So it is now safe to say that this could end up being a total remake version or a remaster version, along with a couple of enhanced and next-gen features being added to the game. But yesterday, CD Projekt Red on their official Twitter page posted this, basically stating that they are now celebrating 7 years of Witcher 3's success. So marking yesterday, Witcher 3 was actually 7 years old. And The Witcher's official Twitter page also shared a brand new artwork, a concept art of The Witcher 3's Wild Hunt, in which, if you look very closely, you can actually see the Geralt's armor in this new concept art is slightly different in the chest piece compared to the original vanilla armor. And another thing that I noticed is that in this particular concept art, you can actually see that Geralt is wearing some kind of a new cape that was not really available in the game itself. Now maybe this could be some kind of hint that basically states that the next upcoming next-gen version or a remake or remaster, whatever the enhanced to complete edition is going to be, we might most likely also be seeing some kind of new outfits for Geralt, an upgraded version which kind of has some kind of a cape added to it, or this whole cape thing could be a complete artistic choice just for the concept art itself and it's not going to be available in the game whatsoever. Now CD Projekt went on and said, thank you for the 7 years anniversary of one of the best games that they have ever created, and they have now finally given us the next generation version of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It's currently planned to be released on Q4 of 2022, which means that the game is going to be released from October 1 to December 31st of this year. Now we don't exactly have the perfect exact release date yet, but it seems like it is very likely that the game could be releasing in the month of October. Now some of the things that we're going to be seeing in the upcoming enhanced to complete edition, where some of the leaks that we have already seen, is that the complete edition is going to enable ray tracing and 4K support along with 60 frames per second availability for the next gen consoles and much more frame rates on the PC, of course, which is going to be unlimited, and you can basically choose those in the options. And when it comes to the game engine, CD Projekt Red has previously stated that they have slightly upgraded their Red engine, which could mean that they might have kind of like worked on the game using the Red engine that they used for Cyberpunk 2077. Maybe we might see some kind of new upgraded graphic versions in lightings very similar to what we have seen with Cyberpunk, and also enhanced graphics, visuals, and shadows, and much more things. This game is going to look absolutely stunning, and of course we already know that Witcher 3 is a masterpiece from CD Projekt Red, and there is nothing to worry about this because the game is already established and well known amongst the gaming community. Now another important thing that every one of you guys should know is that make sure that you guys go ahead and purchase the current version of Witcher 3's Wild Hunt, or if you already own the vanilla version, the current version of Witcher 3's Wild Hunt, then everybody that owns the game already will be getting the next gen complete edition for absolutely free. And the complete edition is also going to include all the DLC expansions. Now even if you don't own any kind of DLC expansions in your vanilla based version of the game, you will still be able to get all the DLC for absolutely free when the game gets updated to the complete edition. Now this is one of the reasons that I always keep saying, if you guys don't own Witcher 3 already, make sure that you guys go ahead and purchase the game right now, because the game is currently on sale, because PlayStation Store is running 80% discount right now, and the same goes for Steam as well as for Xbox Store. So make sure that you guys go ahead and purchase this game and just save it in your library. Don't play it yet because the update is coming. The complete edition is going to be happening soon, so make sure you guys purchase it at as cheap price as you possibly can right now, because when the complete edition releases, price of the game is pretty much going to go all the way up to $40 or $50 or $60. So make sure that you guys purchase the game right now, because you're going to be getting a free upgrade to the complete edition. Now apart from this, we might most likely be getting more gameplay that is going to be revealed for Witcher's complete edition very soon in the upcoming Game Award, or even Gamescom, which is going to take place in the month of June. Now all of these information are going to be available, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of stuff is going to get leaked before that even happens, and I will of course keep my subscribers updated with all the latest information, all the leaks and everything that you guys need to know about all the upcoming open world games right here on this channel. So make sure that you guys are subscribed to this channel if you guys haven't already, and turn the notifications on if you have subscribed, and set the notification settings to all, because if you don't do that, the Broadcast YouTube platform, they don't send you guys the notifications of my daily videos. So make sure you guys do it. And also, if you guys could go on and enjoy this video or found this video helpful, then please just take a few seconds of your time and drop a like on this video, because your like, it actually does help me a lot as a content creator. It really means a lot to me, because that's one of the biggest reasons why I make videos for you guys every single day. So if you guys could just take a few seconds and show your support and drop a like, that would really mean a lot to me. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.
Oh,
klasyka jest ponadczasowa.
This week we have a ton of AAA games that are being given away for absolutely free, and these games can be claimed once and it's going to remain in your libraries forever. Now the first game that you guys need to claim before it's too late is of course from Epic Games. Now Epic Games is giving away Borderlands 3 for all the PC users, and not just that, they're also giving away a bunch of other games, one being Prey Jotun Red Out Enhanced Edition. So in total there is 4 different games that you can claim as of now. Now there's not a lot of time left, and you have 6 days time in order to claim Borderlands 3 as of when I'm making this video. And apart from this, you also can claim the rest of the 3 games, meaning the Prey Jotun and Red Out Enhanced Edition. Now these 3 games are only a few hours left for you guys to go ahead and claim this as of when you're watching this video. Now if you are unlucky, then you're most likely going to miss out your chance on claiming the rest of the 3 games, but then you still have an entire week to go ahead and claim Borderlands 3 from Epic Games Store. Now even if you're not a PC gamer, you guys can still make an Epic Games account. It is absolutely free. Just go ahead, make an account, claim the game for free, and just hold it onto your library. And anytime you decide to buy a PC in the future, then you can basically play these games for absolutely free. And not just this, Ubisoft is also running an entire week of Tom Clancy's The Division 2 to be free to all the players around the world. So make sure you guys go ahead, claim this limited time offer in the game for an entire week. So this Ubisoft offer is available on all the platforms, consoles, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X, as well as on the PC version. Now apart from this, Ubisoft is also going to be giving away Assassin's Creed Origin very soon, and it's going to be part of the PlayStation Plus monthly subscription bundle. Now this could most likely be happening around next month, and I think that the next game that PlayStation is going to be announcing for the PS Plus monthly collection is most likely going to end up being Assassin's Creed Origins this time. So if you don't have an active PlayStation subscription ready, then make sure to keep it ready. Now, apart from this, lads, we currently have FIFA 22 as well as Tribes of Midgard. Now these are the 2 decent games that PlayStation has
Platyna 3, ale to na telefon, tak?
It's too late. Make sure to go ahead and claim all the games as soon as you possibly can in Epic Games Store, because those games are very limited in time. And once you claim it, the games are going to be yours forever. So make sure you guys go ahead, take a few seconds of your time and claim these games, and let me know down below in the comments on whether or not you guys like to see Assassin's Creed Origins being added into the next month's PlayStation Plus subscription monthly bundle or not. Let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comments, and if this video did end up helping you guys in order to claim these games for free, then please make sure to go ahead and drop a like, because your like is absolutely appreciated. It does help the channel, it helps the video out, it helps support these content. With that being said, lads, if you guys want to know all the latest information about all the upcoming open world games and basically all the leaks and information about the upcoming games, then make sure to go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn the notifications on. And with that being said, lads, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye. Assassin's Creed Origins is finally getting the next-gen upgrade with 60 frames per second and 4K resolutions enabled on the next-gen consoles, meaning the PS5, Xbox Series X. And one of the best news that I have for today is that Assassin's Creed Origins is going to be available for both PlayStation Plus as well as Xbox Game Pass users for both console as well as for PC platforms. Now, first of all, you guys need to know that almost every single one of the Assassin's Creed games is pretty much going to get added to the streaming services like PS Plus as well as Xbox Game Pass and Ubisoft Plus. And right now, Ubisoft has made partnership with both PlayStation as well as Xbox, which means that Ubisoft's brand new subscription service known as Ubisoft Plus is going to add in 50 games for PlayStation Plus users. Now, this list also includes Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it's also going to be including a bunch of all the other Assassin's Creed games as well, including Assassin's Creed Origins, as far as what we know so far from the leaks that we have seen related to Ubisoft Plus and PlayStation Plus partnership. And apart from this, for Xbox Game Pass users, Ubisoft and Microsoft have finally come to a conclusion, and they're now giving us a release date on when Assassin's Creed Origins is going to be available for free for all the Game Pass users. And along with Origins, Ubisoft has also added in a few other Ubisoft games that is also going to be available in Game Pass. And the first one
zajarany tą grą.
Marching Fire Edition, and apart from this, we're gonna get Assassin's Creed Origins on June 7th with 60 frames per second, the 4K resolution, next-gen upgraded version. Now, as for PlayStation Plus users, we don't really have an exact release date on when we are going to be getting Assassin's Creed Origins added to the PS Plus subscription, because if you take a look at what Sony has been doing, they're trying to create PlayStation Plus to be a rivalry to Game Pass, and it seems like they've been doing an amazing job with the latest collection of games that they've just announced for PlayStation Plus. And one of those games is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is already announced by Ubisoft. And Ubisoft has given us a list of 27 games that currently exist with the partnership of Ubisoft Plus and PlayStation Plus. And Ubisoft has also said that they're going to be adding in 50 more games to the list of PlayStation Plus. So all the PlayStation Plus users are going to be able to get 50 more games of Ubisoft, which will also pretty much include almost every single Assassin's Creed game
Już
that
punkty
exists.
za grę, za zaangażowanie,
And we don't know on when the specific date is.
a nie za
when
wygrywanie
Origins is
zdobywasz
gonna be added
punkty.
to PS Plus. But of course, I will keep you guys updated on all of those informations right here on this channel. And another really cool thing is that Xbox Game Pass is actually adding in Sniper Elite 5 for both console as well as for the PC version. So it's a really cool thing that they're indeed adding in brand new games directly to the Game Passes. And I'm just loving how
Ale wygrywaniem
PlayStation
zdobywa
and
shine.
Microsoft are just going face off with the PS Plus and Game Pass subscriptions with
kryształy.
some amazing
What the
games
fuck?
added into the list. And I think that rivals like these are the reasons
dlaczego
why
ci
the
ten
gaming
kryształy?
community is going to get much better and better. So let me know down below in the comments which other games would you guys like to see being added to PS Plus subscription or even Xbox Game Pass, because if any of the developers from Sony or even Microsoft ends up watching this video, then maybe they would like to know what the community wants to see with their future updates for these game services. Please take a few seconds, drop a comment down below, and are you guys going to be playing Assassin's Creed Origins once again or for the very first time with the 60 frames per second, the 4K upgrade for the next gen consoles or not? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you guys are looking for a YouTube channel that basically covers every single information that you guys need about all the upcoming open world games, all the upcoming leaks on open world games, and all these free games and stuff like that, I just keep my subscribers updated with all the latest information that you guys need to know every single day. So make sure to go ahead, subscribe to this channel and turn the notifications on, and make sure to set the notification settings to all, because if you don't do that, then the broadcast YouTube platform, they just don't send you guys the notifications of my daily videos. So make sure that you guys are doing it. And with that being said, if this video was helpful to you guys, then please just take a few seconds of your time and leave a like on this video, because that would really mean a lot to me as a content creator, because creating videos for you guys every single day and seeing those supports being shown in the form of likes or comments or whatever, even subscribes, that would really mean a lot to me as a creator, and it also does motivate me in order to make more better content for you guys every single day. So just take a few seconds, drop a like, that would really make my day. And with that being said, lads, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fans, and goodbye. Assassin's Creed Infinity has a ton of leaks and information that just came through, and as soon as I heard it, it seems like Ubisoft is going all in this time with their upcoming Assassin's Creed Infinity. Nothing like that we have ever seen before with any of the Assassin's Creed games that Ubisoft has ever created so far. Now, I don't want to be wasting a lot of your time, and I want to get right into the topic and let you guys know on all the information that we have gathered so far regarding Assassin's Creed Infinity, the next biggest thing for all the Assassin's Creed fans out there. Now, Jason Schreier from Bloomberg has now confirmed that Assassin's Creed Infinity is not going to be releasing in 2023. The game is going to be releasing in 2024. Now, as far as what Jason said, it seems like Ubisoft is currently working on one of the biggest Assassin's Creed games, or one of the most unique Assassin's Creed titles that we have ever seen so far, because it seems like Infinity is going to be that one hub game, which is basically going to connect all the other Assassin's Creed games together as one particular game. Now, Jason Schreier says the reason why Ubisoft is taking so long is because they are focusing so much towards Assassin's Creed Infinity like none other Assassin's Creed games that they have created before. This is going to be so huge, and there's going to be a ton of content available for Infinity itself. Now, as far as what Jason has described here, he says that Assassin's Creed Infinity is going to be this one game, one package, which is going to contain different types of assassin storylines, timeline, and also different characters. So how does all of these different assassins and different timelines and stuff like that just combine together as just one Assassin's Creed game? So the best example is this picture right here, where you can basically take a look at how Assassin's Creed Infinity would most likely end up looking like, where you can see all of these different characters, where you will be able to choose between multiple characters here, and you will get to play as different assassins or Templars or whoever the player are going to be playing as. And Ubisoft is basically going to keep adding multiple players, multiple storylines, as well as expansions that basically takes you in new different settings and new stories and stuff like that. And over time, Assassin's Creed Infinity is basically going to keep updating the same game.
No, ale kryształki decydują o randze, a męstwo decyduje o jakiejś ochronie, tak? Czyli wygrywanie wpływa na rangę.
Godzilla events going on, and there is just so much happening in Warzone that the entire game has completely changed right now. And the same goes for Fortnite. If you take a look at what Fortnite looked like when it came out, and take a look at how Fortnite looks right now, the name of the game and the game itself remains the same, but at the same time, the game is progressing. It's getting updated, and there is a lot of changes with the storyline as well as characters and a bunch of stuff like that, and gameplay itself changes entirely. So that is basically what Ubisoft is trying to do with Assassin's Creed Infinity. But since this is a single player game, it's going to be a story, a linear game, an open world title, we don't really know on how Ubisoft is planning on tackling this thing with multiple different stories and different timelines with different characters. Now this is the one biggest confusion that the player base
Ile
has
czasu się
on
zajęło
how
bić
Ubisoft is
tej
going to
rangi?
tackle this thing. How are they just going to make the game get updated with different timelines and stuff like that? Is the game just going to keep moving on with some life changes being added to the game's map and storyline? If players miss out the previous stories, will they not be able to play the previous stories with the current live version of the game or not? So that is something that remains as one of the biggest mysteries, and we will only know more information about this when Ubisoft reveals all of these informations in the upcoming Summer Game Fest events, or even the not so E3 kind of rest of the summer events that's going to take place in the coming month of June. But we might be seeing some more information coming out from Ubisoft themselves. So I will of course keep you guys updated regarding all of those things right here on this channel. Now as far as the release date of this game, Ubisoft hasn't really given us any release date in particular for this game. As far as what Jason Schreier has leaked so far, it seems like the game is going to be coming out in the year of 2024. So we still have like 2 years left, or even 1.5 years left. So that still is a very long time for Ubisoft to work on this one particular huge project. And it seems like there are two different studios that are working on Assassin's Creed Infinity, one being Ubisoft Metro and the other one being Ubisoft Quebec. These are the guys that worked on Assassin's Creed classic titles like Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, and Assassin's Creed Origins, even Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Odyssey, and so much more. So major Assassin's Creed titles were made by these two studios, Quebec and Metro. So we don't really have to worry about how things are going to go in, especially since Darby McDevitt has returned to Assassin's Creed titles, so he's probably going to be rewriting those stories. We might finally get a sequel to Black Flag, to the Edward Kenway saga, so that is something I am really asking for a very long time. So please, if you guys want to see Assassin's Creed Black Flags Part 2 or a sequel to that game, let us know down below in the comments, because Ubisoft developers do watch my videos. We do discuss on what the community wants. So if you guys want to see Black Flag 2 happening, leave a comment down below saying that you guys want to have that. So if Ubisoft does end up watching this video, if this video does get a lot of views, we can kind of start pushing a move, just letting Ubisoft know that we want a sequel for that particular game, because who doesn't want more pirate action or Edward Kenway saga happening with the new Assassin's Creed game? So please just take a few seconds of your time and drop a comment. That really helps the community a lot. And apart from this, one of the biggest questions that Jason Schreier has indeed answered is that whether this game is going to have a multiplayer. And the answer to this is that Ubisoft has already confirmed officially themselves. One of the Ubisoft employees have previously said that Assassin's Creed is going to be working with multiplayer in the future, which means that this could be part of the Infinity mode itself, and we might be seeing multiple different types of multiplayer modes, one being the co-op, which could be a very possible thing, and then the other one could be either in PvP, player versus player kind of a thing that we've already seen with Assassin's Creed Black Flag's multiplayer, or we might also end up having some kind of an open world GTA Online kind of thing. If that ends up happening, if you have a free roam open world GTA style Assassin's Creed game multiplayer, then that would be absolutely nuts and amazing. If Ubisoft could pull off something that good with Assassin's Creed Infinity, I would honestly just throw my money at them if it turns out to be good, that is. So I really don't have any high hopes when it comes to Assassin's Creed's multiplayer, and I think that you guys should not really keep too much hopes, because Assassin's Creed games so far has only been taking place with single player storyline type of thing. Multiplayer, I'm not entirely sure if that's going to suit the franchise, but then Ubisoft can just go ahead and try their magic and see what they can do with this, because of course innovative things are
A jak te Diablo Immortal? Grasz na racie nadal w nim? Czy ty grasz na racie, bo nie grał? Czy ty nadal grasz Diablo Immortal?
Or a paid game? And the answer to this is that the CEO of Ubisoft has already said that Assassin's Creed Infinity is not going to be a free game. You will of course have to pay for this game. Now the way of how you pay for a live service game, we don't really know on how that's going to take place. Is this going to be some kind of monthly or yearly or quarterly subscription service, or is this going to be like a one-time purchase? Now of course I don't think it's going to be a one-time purchase, since live service games are something they make in order to just keep pulling money from us consumers. So that could be a thing. We might have some kind of a monthly rental plans for all these things. And we might of course get more content, since it's a live service game. We might get more updates, more content, more expansions, stuff like that. So that's of course a good thing. Live service is not bad. If people are thinking that it's going to raise up a lot of microtransactions, this of course Ubisoft does not really shy away when it comes to microtransactions. We might see a bunch of stuff like that with Infinity, but then it also gives us more content at the same time. Now lads, Ubisoft has made it official. Infinity's coming, and they're going to be giving us more information about this in coming months, especially with the upcoming Summer Game Fest events, and also the Not E3 events that's also happening this Summerfest. So I will keep you guys updated with all of those information that you guys need about Assassin's Creed Infinity right here on this channel, because this channel is where you're going to be getting all those informations. And also, if you guys want to stay updated with all the latest and upcoming news, informations, leaks about open world games, because that is what I cover on this channel, then make sure to go ahead, subscribe to my channel, turn the notifications on, and set the notification settings to all, because if you don't do that, ROK YouTube platform, they just don't send you guys the notifications of my daily videos. So make sure you guys do it. And also, if you guys did go on and find this video helpful, and if you guys want to see an Assassin's Creed Black Flag 2 sequel, and also want to support my content, please just take a few seconds of your time and drop a like on this video. That really does help out the channel. It helps the videos a lot. It also motivates me as a content creator, because I make videos for you guys every single day. So if you guys could just show your support, take your time, that would really mean a lot to me. With that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fans, and goodbye.
My w Kwiecień Banku uważamy, że im mniej miejsca zajmujemy w twoim życiu, tym dla ciebie.
There are 4 different Assassin's Creed games coming up, 3 of which is going to be releasing this year, and then there is one big Assassin's Creed title, which is Assassin's Creed Infinity, that's going to be releasing in the year 2024. And speaking of the 3 different major Assassin's Creed titles, and the first one being Assassin's Creed Rift, where we're going to be playing as Basim, the Hidden Ones character that Eivor meets in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And Ubisoft has said that Assassin's Creed Rift is going to be releasing this year, somewhere towards the end of holidays. We don't really have an exact release date though, but then they've already given us a release window on when the game could most likely be releasing. It's probably going to be on Q3 or Q4 of 2022, so that's already exciting, because it's not very long before we get our hands on with Assassin's Creed Rift. Now speaking of Rift, we're going to be playing as Basim here. Now the story starts from an innocent boy.
Księgę z bestiami? Co to znaczy, że tam jakieś bestie zabijasz? Polujesz na nie?
It seems like Basim is going to be traveling to Arabic countries and again, that's where the game is going to take place most of the time. And if you're expected to see some story related to Loki and Basim, I think that's not going to be the case here with Assassin's Creed Rift, because Ubisoft has already told that they're going to keep this game much more linear and grounded, and they're going to stick to the old school Assassin's Creed types, meaning the Assassin's Creed 3, Black Flag, or Assassin's Creed Brotherhood itself. So these games are some of the iconic mainstream Assassin's Creed titles back in those days, which kind of stuck to the main storyline rather than just being an open world RPG title. So that's what Ubisoft is focusing with a smaller title called Assassin's Creed Rift, which was originally planned to be released as a DLC expansion for Valhalla, but then they decided that they could make more money by making this a full-fledged standalone title and also giving in some new gameplay features and a little bit more work put into this game. But nonetheless, the game is running on the same Assassin's Creed Valhalla engine, so you don't really have to expect too much of difference here, because the game is most likely just going to look pretty much the same as Valhalla and also plays and runs the same. But then the only difference we're going to be noticing is that the game is going to be much more grounded this time. It's not going to be super sci-fi or even fantasy RPG style. It's going to stick more towards the old school Assassin's Creed game. So we're going to be getting this at the end of this year, so that already is super exciting news here. And moving on to the next Assassin's Creed game that is going to be releasing this year is Assassin's Creed Nexus, which was recently just announced by Ubisoft, which is the first ever VR supported Assassin's Creed title, which means that you will be able to play Assassin's Creed Nexus with VR headsets and VR controllers. Now, there has been absolutely no Assassin's Creed games till date that has ever supported VR controllers or hasn't been made for a VR title itself. Now, this is of course very exciting. As far as what information Ubisoft has provided so far, it seems like we will be able to play as multiple different assassin characters in this game, but we don't exactly know on which characters we're going to be able to play as, or they're going to be some kind of new characters, or are we going to get to play as some of the old characters like Ezio, Altair, Edward Kenway. So we don't exactly have much information about Assassin's Creed Nexus as of now, but I'm pretty sure that Ubisoft is going to be announcing much more in the coming up Summer Game Fest, as well as the Not So E3 Fest that's also going to take place this summer. So all of those informations will be available right there on the online events that's going to take place. And of course, my channel will be the best one to go ahead and find out all the upcoming open world games, informations, leaks, and stuff like that. So make sure to stick around, subscribe, and whatnot. And now moving on to the next one, Ubisoft has already announced that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is getting another big expansion, meaning another DLC expansion like the DLC 1, 2, and 3 that we already have. The recent one being Dawn of the Ragnarok. We're going to be seeing another one last expansion. Now, we don't really have an exact information on what this final expansion is going to be like, but as far as what we know, it seems like this is going to be the last one, and Ubisoft is no longer going to be supporting with more external DLC expansions and stuff like that. So 2 years of support for Valhalla is already great here, and Ubisoft has done a really good job with those things, even though they haven't really had the quality over quantity stuff. I think that they need to focus a little bit more to its quality stuff rather than just giving us huge quantity here, because that's one thing that Ubisoft is lacking behind with all the expansions that they've been releasing for Assassin's Creed Valhalla lately. So another expansion for Valhalla could also be seen this year itself, and it's most likely going to be releasing before Assassin's Creed Rift hits the store, which means that Ubisoft is going to need more time in order to market Assassin's Creed Rifts out there for sales, rather than just focusing on already existing Valhalla content here. So I'm pretty sure that they're going to be releasing Valhalla's upcoming expansion before Rift releases, and also with the release date of Nexus, it's also going to be releasing at the end of 2022, which means that we have a lot of Assassin's Creed titles and a lot of Assassin's Creed content which is going to be released this year. And moving apart from that, we're also going to be getting one of the biggest Assassin's Creed games, one of the biggest projects that Ubisoft has ever worked on, the live service Assassin's Creed title called Infinity, which according to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier is going to be releasing in the year of 2024, because Ubisoft needs a lot of time in order to work on this game. Because as far as the informations that we got from Jason, it seems like Ubisoft is putting in a ton of work. Nothing like what they've ever done with any of these Assassin's Creed games, especially especially since it's a live service game. There is going to be a ton of content, and also expect the game to be kind of a little bit more RPG styled, because that's what makes Ubisoft a lot of money, and also does end up selling a lot of skins that way as well. So microtransaction is going to play a very huge role here, and apart from that, Ubisoft has also said that Infinity is constantly going to keep getting more content as we move further on with years. And after Infinity releases, there is not going to be any standalone Assassin's Creed games that's going to be releasing here on. Every single new Assassin's Creed title is going to be
że trzeba grindować, masz na myśli. Grinding.
and the whole game of Infinity
Siedzieć i grać, żeby coś osiągnąć.
So that's basically
Prawie
how
jak
it's going
Paul.
to happen. So I'm super excited to see what Ubisoft is working on with Assassin's Creed Infinity here, and I will of course keep you guys updated with every single information that you need about all the upcoming open world games, including all the information, the leaks and stuff like that is going to be firstly available right here on my channel. So make sure that you guys have clicked that subscribe button and turn the notifications on, because if you haven't done that already, then YouTube is not going to send you guys the notifications of my daily videos. So make sure you set the notifications on and set it to all, because if you don't do that, then the Broguys YouTube platform, they don't send you guys the notifications of my daily videos. So make sure you guys do it. And also, if you guys did go on and find this video helpful, if you did enjoy this video, I would absolutely appreciate it if you guys could just take a couple of seconds of your time and please go ahead and drop a like on this video, because as a content creator, it does help out a lot to my content. So your support is very, very much appreciated. With that being said, lads, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.
Miasta zmieniają się na naszych oczach, a my zmieniamy się razem z
Siedzieć
nimi.
później próbujesz
Pojawiają
zdobyć
się
duszę
nowe
chleb, to jest
wyzwania i
dopiero
nowe
uzależnienie.
potrzeby,
Masz do
które
zdobycia,
wymagają nowego spojrzenia na
masz do
otaczającą
zdobycia
nas
powiedzmy
rzeczywistość.
20 dusz,
Sprawdźmy,
bijesz to
jak
przez
planować
4 godziny, jak nie
by
dłużej.
miasta były bardziej
Zależy jak
przyjazne,
szybko dobierz
funkcjonalne i
potwory, bo
ekologiczne.
bardzo
Poznaj
rzadko
najnowsze
wypada to
trendy
być.
i rozwiązania. Zarejestruj się i weź udział w Światowym Forum Miejskim w Katowicach od 26
działają,
do
kurwa, te
30
gry właśnie,
czerwca.
no,
Zobacz, jak
podobne.
zmieniamy nasze miasta dla lepszej przyszłości.
Działają na uzależnienie.
Ubisoft has finally come to an end. It seems like the company is now being sold forever. And the share market value of Ubisoft has fallen beyond imaginable rates. And this seems to be by far one of the worst rates that Ubisoft has ever seen. And what does this mean for all the upcoming games that has been already planned, including Assassin's Creed Infinity, Assassin's Creed Rift, and a bunch of other titles like Skull and Bones, Beyond Good and Evil 2, some of the games that people actually believe that does not even exist anymore. Now, there is of course a lot of different ways this could either go absolutely terrible, or some big sharks like Sony, PlayStation, or Microsoft could end up purchasing Ubisoft rather than any of the private organization that ends up buying the company. That could also end up being one of the cases here, and we might lose Ubisoft for good this time if that ends up happening. But according to Ubisoft, they have now stated that they're going to be selling the entire company share for $4.7 billion, and the market is going to go out publicly for sale very soon. And it seems like recently Sony has also purchased Bungie at $3.6 billion, which means that $4.7 billion for a company like Ubisoft, which has multiple AAA franchises that are already well established, like Rainbow Six and Assassin's Creed, and Ubisoft basically owns one of the biggest franchise in gaming history with having rights to Assassin's Creed. Now the reason why Ubisoft is selling the company is
Powiem
because
szczerze,
of
to
all
takie
the
gry są
accusations
najgorsze.
and misconduct and harassment that
Właśnie
has lately
takie,
been
co mają
going on
systemy
with
uzależniające, jak
Activision
Lost
Blizzard,
Ark
and
na
Ubisoft did
przykład.
not take
Tam,
these things, and it seems like Ubisoft
jak
has
ja widzę na
really
przykład,
taken
że
any
są
of these
jakieś nagrody za
concerns
codzienne
seriously, and that
logowanie,
kind of
to
like backfired them,
gierka
and
mnie
due to which
zniechęca.
they've lost a lot of share values already. And apart from that, Ubisoft CEO has also stated that games like Watch Dogs and Far Cry has not really made them any huge industrial impact in order to compete with some of the huge competitions out there in the industry. Except Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ubisoft hasn't really done anything much better this year. And when it comes to business perspective, I mean, the only good money that Ubisoft was able to make this entire year was from Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and then they decided to go on with the year 2 expansion content and stuff like that. But it seems like year 2 for Assassin's Creed Valhalla did not really end up working as far as what they
Rainbow Six
expected.
nie,
And not
CS
just
nie
this,
ma.
it seems like Ubisoft's attempt to
LOL
capitalize
też nie ma.
on industrial trends like free-to-play battle royale games have also failed, with
To są gry
experiments like
competitive,
Hyperscape and
te
Defiant
competitive
X,
nie
which both
na
of these
niczym
games
innym
have
bazuje.
been one of the biggest flops of this year. And ever since then, Ubisoft has taken a very huge downfall. There's been a lot of investments going on for these games, and every single game other than Assassin's Creed Valhalla
Taki
has
farming
only
też
been
nie ma, nie?
failing year after year. Now, apart from that, Ubisoft also decided to get into the bidding game where they created this blockchain and NFTs through its new Ubisoft Quartz, and they brought this whole new digital currencies and NFTs and stuff like that inside games. And ever since Ubisoft made an official announcement for that, fans and the entire community were absolutely devastated to see what Ubisoft is doing with the NFT project. And that's not something the gamers were really into, and they were not supporting these kind of microtransactions, because this could end up leading to something absolutely disastrous for the gaming community. And I think that's not something that we gamers should be supporting as well. Too much microtransactions is not good for an already paid game. I mean, if it's a free-to-play game, it makes sense if you're paying some money for the skins, which doesn't really force any kind of stats upgrade for your players or whatever. It's just a skin, bros. So if that's the case, it kind of does make sense, but it seems like that's not the case with Ubisoft microtransactions. And one of the biggest reasons that investors pulled back all of their investments from Ubisoft is because of some of these games that Ubisoft has been announcing for God knows how long, which is Skull and Bones and Beyond Good and Evil 2. Now, these were one of the most ambitious projects, according to Ubisoft, that they've been working on. And ever since this game was announced, like probably 5 to 6 years ago, and ever since then, we haven't really heard any kind of information or any updates whatsoever. Nobody even knows if these games exist or not. So fans and people have been requesting Ubisoft for any new updates on these games, but there hasn't been any information. So this whole situation has led for Ubisoft shares to drop all the way down to the extent that they haven't really imagined themselves. And it seems like Ubisoft is finally done with the lost bearings, and they've now decided to come out and sell the entire company to either a private organization. They could end up purchasing Ubisoft and then selling it to some of the third-party gaming industries, or Microsoft and Sony's PlayStation could finally decide to buy Ubisoft themselves. So if at all PlayStation or Microsoft ends up purchasing Ubisoft, then we might be seeing a better future for games like Assassin's Creed, or even one of the biggest projects that Ubisoft is currently working on, which is Assassin's Creed Infinity, could end up having a much better outcome as well. Do you guys think that Microsoft should buy Ubisoft, or do you think that PlayStation should end up buying Ubisoft? Which company would you guys suggest to Ubisoft to be purchased? Let me know down below in the comments what are your opinions and thoughts about this whole situation of Ubisoft finally getting sold. And let's just hope and cross our fingers and pray for Ubisoft to get into the right hands so that we don't lose some of the most finest open world games that we have been playing ever since we were kids. And if you guys are looking for a YouTube channel that basically covers every single information, leaks that you need about all the upcoming open world games and existing open world games, because that is what I do on this channel every single day. So make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn the notifications on, and make sure that you guys are setting the notification settings to all, because if you don't do that, then the broadcast YouTube platform, they just don't send you guys the notifications.
No, nie ma.
So make sure you do it. With that being said, if you guys did go on and enjoy this video, then please just take a few seconds of your time and drop a like on this video, because your support would really mean a lot to me as a content creator. It does help the videos as well as the channel a ton. So your support is absolutely appreciated. With that being said, lads, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye. Rockstar Games' Red Dead Redemption Remake and Red Dead Redemption 2's next-gen update is finally going to release in a couple of months from now, and this information is officially confirmed by one of the Rockstar insiders, Chris Keppel, who apparently is the creator for Rockstar Magazine News in French version. And recently, Chris tweeted out, to answer several MPs in one go, yes, I was able to confirm at the end of 2020, a next-gen port of Red Dead Redemption 2 has been underway for several months at Rockstar Games, with a remaster or remake project of the first Red Dead Redemption game. Now, the port for Red Dead Redemption 2's next-gen version is basically going to be announced much earlier. The announcement would have been visibly shifted for the remaster or remake version of Red Dead Redemption. I don't know more except that the project would be still relevant, and that obviously it does not bear the name Outlaw Collection. Now, Chris here says that Red Dead Redemption Remake is currently in works, and it's going to be releasing somewhere this year, and the announcement for RDR2's next-gen upgrade, meaning the 4K 60 FPS update for the PS5 as well as the Xbox Series X, was already supposed to be launched. But then it seems like Rockstar Games were carried away a little bit because they were focusing more towards the production of Red Dead Redemption Remake,
Typowo gra są
which
do
is most
odblokowania
likely going to be
bohaterowie,
released in the coming
operatorzy
months
i
of this
więcej
year.
punktów
Now,
za
as far as
pierwszą
what we've
wygraną
seen
dnia.
with a couple of
Tak,
other
ale
sources,
to
it
nie jest
seems
to
like
samo
it is
co
pretty much
codzienne logowanie.
confirmed
To jest
that the
troszkę te
remake version
bohaterowie,
of the
czy te
first Red Dead game
za wygraną
is
dnia
going
to
to be
jest
released
jednak
this
moim
year.
zdaniem
Now, the
troszkę
question that remains is that which month
delikatniejsza
are we going to be
sprawa.
getting a final announcement? And we also know that Summer Game Fest is coming up very soon, and Rockstar Games might come out and give us some more information, or maybe we might finally get to see a teaser or trailer for the Red Dead remake. Chris here says that Rockstar Games held back the RDR2's next-gen update because they were working on the remake version of first Red Dead game, so it is highly possible that since we are getting the next-gen update in a couple of months from now, we might also be seeing a Red Dead Redemption's remake game happening very, very soon. Now, of course, Rockstar Games hasn't provided any official information yet, but I'm pretty sure that we're also going to be finding out a couple of more information. We might get to see some gameplay, teaser, trailer, or whatever. And it's also not of a surprise because Rockstar Games are always the secretive company who doesn't really reveal any information until it is absolutely the perfect time.
No nie,
so.
nie.
So with remake of the first game, I really hope that
Jest tu
Rockstar
roboty
Games
tyle,
does
że
a really good
chłop.
job and they don't screw things up, especially how they remastered the GTA.
Muszę to, a to i tak ja nie mam wszystkich maszyn, żeby ogarniać.
It does not look even better than the vanilla version of the game itself. So that's how horrible Rockstar
jakby
Games have just
kultywować
put their
lub zaorać.
reputation into. And I hope
Raz.
that they don't do the
Dwa.
same with
Zebrać
Red Dead
kamienie.
Redemption's remake this time,
Trzy.
especially since we
Trzy
have
zasiać.
the next-gen consoles
4 ściąg.
that has
To są
already
ja te
arrived
4
here.
rzeczy
And we
robię,
can
nie?
finally get to experience
Ale to
Red
można
Dead's
jeszcze
first
wałować,
ever game in
nawozy
PS5
dawać,
with next-gen graphics and stuff like that. So I'm super excited. Let me know
wapnować.
down below in the
Ja
comments
tych
which
rzeczy to jeszcze
console
nie
are you
robię.
guys gonna be playing the next-gen upgrade of Red Dead
Będę je robił, ale jak
Redemption
będę miał
2 and
większe
Red Dead
pole.
Redemption remake on. Will it be the PS5 or will you be playing it on Xbox
Taka
Series
gra na
X,
chillerkę,
or are
nie?
you guys just gonna play the game on the
Lubię
PC
sobie pograć,
version? Let me
szczególnie
know
jak
your
posłuchać
platform of
coś mówię.
choice. Let's see which platform has the most amount of players. So leave your feedbacks down below in the
No.
comments. And with that being said, if you guys are looking for a YouTube channel that basically covers every single information that you guys need about all the upcoming
To wiesz,
open
no.
world games, leaks,
Ja na razie nie mam
informations,
kasy na
gameplays and
upgrade,
stuff
ale
like
na
that,
przykład
but this
jak
channel right
miałeś
here
tam
is the perfect go for you guys. So
kultywator,
make sure to go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn the
kultywatory,
notifications
to ja
on.
mam ten
And the most
ten
important step of all,
kultywator, nie?
even if you're
No nie,
subscribed,
czekaj,
even if you turn the
kultywator.
notifications on,
Ten
make
pług.
sure that you
Ja
guys
mam ten
setting your
pług, nie?
notification settings
On
to
ma
all.
2,5
Because if you
metra.
don't do that, then the broadcast
Wcześniej
YouTube
używałem
platform, they
tych,
just
to
don't
w
send you
ogóle
guys the
bym 2 godziny
notifications of my
robił,
daily
nie?
videos.
Ale jak
So make sure
kupię
you guys
sobie
do
ten,
it.
który
And
ma
with
6
that being said,
metrów,
if you guys should
to
go on and
praktycznie 3
enjoy this
razy
video, then
szybciej, nie?
please just take a few seconds of your time.
I tak
and
każdy
show
ten,
your
tylko muszę
support
mieć
to my
kasę na
content
nim.
by simply leaving a like rating, because your like is absolutely appreciated. It does
Tak
help
jakby
the channel a
przyspieszasz
lot.
te
It
działania,
helps my
kupując
videos,
lepsze
it
te
helps me get motivated, because your support is everything that
lepsze
I'm
narzędzie.
making these videos for. So please,
A muszę
just
na
take
nie
a few
zarobić.
seconds, show your support. That really means a lot. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and adios, amigos.
Neokulet. Telewizor stworzony dla Ciebie. Neokulet. Nieskończona doskonałość.
Ubisoft has made some massive changes with their upcoming games, especially the one with Prince of Persia Remake. As Ubisoft has finally recognized their mistakes, they do understand that the remake version of Prince of Persia looks like absolute garbage.
Why you bully me?
Now, of course, Ubisoft Mumbai defines this by saying that this was some kind of an art style that they chose to go for. So Ubisoft Mumbai is no longer going to be the ones that are going to be working on Prince of Persia Remake. The game is now transferred to Ubisoft Montreal, who are the guys who basically work on all the Assassin's Creed titles, which means there is now a much
A nie wiem, nie mam wyliczonego jednego pola. Mogę ci powiedzieć, ile mi jeden rok schodzi. Bo se liczyłem. Jeden rok to tak jakby wszystkie te moje rzeczy zadbać.
Prince of Persia Remake. Now, obviously, it makes sense since the game
Prawie
doesn't
16
really
godzin.
look
To
that
jest
good. Also, it's been
15:40.
so long, and we haven't gotten any updates because the development of the
Cały
game
rok.
is being delayed constantly. And this, of course, is not good for Ubisoft's business because
Cały
we
rok
already
16
know that
godzin.
Ubisoft has
Muszę
been
to
losing a
przyspieszyć.
ton of its shareholders. And right now, Ubisoft's share market is on all-time low, which means that Ubisoft has finally made their listing stating that they're going to be selling the entire company
Także wiesz, jednego pola nie liczę, bo zrobię i później muszę czekać 2 miesiące. 16 godzin. Siema Fabi, siemanko. O Jezu. I też gram na hardzie, nie? Na najtrudniejszym.
The Ubisoft Montreal team is now going to be working on Prince of Persia Remake, and hopefully they finally realize the graphics of the remake version is not as good as what the current generation consoles or the hardware is even representing. I mean, even if it's a remake of a very old game, it still does make sense. If you have a game's cover art that basically looks this good, and then the game looks like an absolute garbage, then that would of course piss off the entire Prince of Persia fan base or the community itself. Because when you say remake, you would of course expect to see something that would blow our minds off.
Ta gra mi służy właśnie do słuchania podcastu. Wiesz, siedzę, coś robię, bo albo chodzę lub biegam i słucham podcastu, albo gram właśnie w farmingu. W końcu jakiś Polak, bo szukam już od 1,5 godziny, nie mogę nikogo znaleźć. I co, Polacy nie grają w farminga? Na Twitchu? Naprawdę?
And that was apparently not present with Ubisoft Mumbai here. And this could possibly be due to the lack of infrastructure or better technical team. So whatever the reason is, it is finally time that Ubisoft has made the change. It seems like Prince of Persia Remake now finally has some kind of a little bit of a hope. Because Ubisoft Montreal,
no, ja jestem już od godziny tutaj.
So far. In terms of graphics at least, because this team has been doing some great job with all of the Assassin's Creed titles.
No tak, to w ogóle kurwa w niedzielę o 9 gra w kościele siedzi.
The game does actually look pretty darn beautiful. Now I know that the opinions about this game is very subjective. Some people like it and some people don't, and that's completely up to your own position of how you like Assassin's Creed games to be. But let me tell you, the game actually looks pretty darn good when it is compared with a graphical standpoint. So if Ubisoft Montreal could make Prince of Persia Remake look as good as Assassin's Creed Valhalla's graphics, then I think this game would absolutely blow up, and this would once again put Ubisoft on the highest market list. The shareholders would of course trust the company once again. The reason why Ubisoft is most likely doing this is because they've lost every single shareholder they had. The majority of shares are completely sold out, and now the company is at its verge of getting sold forever. So it seems like Ubisoft has no more rooms for errors here. They want to make things right, they want to give quality over quantity, and that's the reason why they have now finally decided to shift the project to
Śmiało, zapraszam. Ja na przykład odpalam tego save'a na multiplayer i jeden typek na przykład dołączał do mnie i mi pomagał tutaj robić, więc jakbyś chciał pomóc, to zapraszam. Zawsze nie 15 godzin lubię wtedy jak 2 osoby, tylko szybciej, nie? Mam nawet specjalnie 2 traktory kupione, żeby można było obrabiać pole. Specjalnie dla tego typa to kupiłem.
Point of view for Ubisoft, because the future projects and effectiveness of the development of future projects is of course going to be affected due to the lack of investments. So let me know down below in the comments what you guys think. Is it a good thing that Montreal got this project and the whole development team has been now changed? Do you think this is a bad thing or a good thing? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And if you guys did go on and enjoy this video, then please make sure to go ahead and smash that like rating, because your support, it really means a lot to me as a content creator, because I create content for you guys every single day.
Będzie uczciwa cena, to zagramy. O, też lubię, zapraszam. Prawda, bo ten farming często jest przeceniony. To jest gra, która raczej przeceniają.
Notifications on, and make sure that you guys are setting in notification settings to all, because if you don't do that, the ROK's YouTube platform, they just don't set notifications of my daily videos. So make sure you do it.
Chyba że na PlayStation, ale to wtedy cross-platformów nie ma. Chociaż Epic może dać za darmo za jakiś czas.
Ubisoft Skull and Bones is finally coming out. The game is not cancelled. We now have a latest gameplay that just got leaked a couple days ago. And Ubisoft has also given us another confirmations. And the game is going to arrive sooner than what we have been expecting. Now, recently, Ubisoft hired a Call of Duty veteran Nevin Derensky, who is the senior producer of Call of Duty Warzone, Modern Warfare, and also Black Ops 2's multiplayer. And now he has been hired to be the senior producer who will be helping shape the game Skull and Bones. And Nevin has now stated that the game is going to be coming out very soon. It's probably going to happen at the end of 2022 or at the beginning of 2023. Now we don't have an exact release date, but as far as what we have seen with the latest leaked gameplay that Ubisoft managed to take down, because that was showing off the latest build of the game. Now obviously the latest build also means that this is not the final product. That's not how the game's gonna look. The build is of course part of the newest demo versions, which means that there's still a lot of work to go on, and the final product is going to look a little different. Now unfortunately I don't really have the leaked gameplay footage to show you guys, but if you really want to see the leaked gameplay, then I would suggest you guys to go to Reddit and try searching for Skull and Bones leaked gameplay. You'll probably find one somewhere around, because Ubisoft has been real quick with this one. They did manage to take down the entire gameplay before it could spread all over the internet. That's probably why you're not able to see plenty of Skull and Bones' latest gameplay here. And now as far as what I've seen in the leaked gameplay, it seems like there is no actual fully open world gameplay as what we have been expecting, because what was shown all the way back those years in the E3 press conference from Ubisoft, it seemed like the game was going to have this exploration part where you will be able to play as a third-person character that can get out of the ship and explore the islands and also make friends in new ports, where you have your own home base, you can upgrade your ship, and then you have a settlement where you can upgrade your own pirate haven, and you can basically go on adventures with your friends and explore and find treasures, and you'll also be able to have sword fights. But unfortunately,
kamienie zbieram i zaraz będę siał tutaj
we did understand that we're not going to be able to get out of the ship, and none of your friends are also going to be able to get into your ship. So this basically means that even if you're playing with your friends, it's pretty much going to be like you have your own ship and then they have their own ship. If you want to go on any adventures, then you're basically only going to be able to control your own ships, and multiple friends equals to an entire fleet. It's not going to be anything like Sea of Thieves where you and your friends can basically just pilot the entire ship. And Sea of Thieves also offers the option where you can get out of your ship, you can go down to any island, you can start exploring underwater, above water. There's a lot of treasures, there's a lot of gunfights, and there's also sword fights. But it seems like as far as what the latest demo version that got leaked has, it does not have anything related to a third-person character being able to get out of the ship. So that is one big flaw that I think Ubisoft has been losing here with Skull and Bones. And now especially with Call of Duty veteran leading the team, it seems that they're now more focusing the entire game into a PvP aspect, because Call of Duty has always been this game which is more focused towards the PvP aspects, and I think that is what they're going to be focusing with Skull and Bones as well. Now I honestly expected to see some third-person action very similar to what we've seen with Sea of Thieves, but then the graphics is kind of realistic with Skull and Bones compared to Sea of Thieves. It's more like a Fortnite cartoony arcade style, where Skull and Bones is kind of trying to portray that realism and kind of having this experience of finally getting to live our life as a pirate. But unfortunately, that's one thing as far as what I've seen from the demo that's been pissing me off. We can only ride boats and ships and do absolutely nothing other than that. I mean, you can still upgrade your ships, you can literally just make your ship look absolutely nuts, but what's the use if you cannot
większy sprzęt do zbiórki. Wiem, ale nie mam kasy,
because that's basically what Ubisoft portrayed with Skull and
Mam zamiar powiększyć te rzeczy, ale muszę zarobić kasę. Na razie mam kurwa jeszcze mam kredyciku. 70 000 muszę spłacić. Staram się nie mieć kredytu, ale musiałem wziąć na ten traktor. Więc najpierw spłacę kredyt i później będę inwestował właśnie w większy siewnik, zbierać kamieni, tak żeby ten czas, jeżeli chodzi o krok
all of
przemija,
you
to
guys just like to
żeby go
stay in the
skrócić.
boat and captain the boat and just be the boat itself for the entire game. So let me know what you guys think. What is the best for Skull and Bones? Do you think that Ubisoft made the right choice or the wrong choice? I would love to go ahead and read out your comments down below. And if you guys are looking for a YouTube channel that basically covers every single information you need about all the upcoming open world games, because open world games is what I cover on my
Nauczę cię
channel. So
spokojnie,
every
masz
single
Game
day
Passa?
you guys are going to get videos on open world leaks, gameplay videos, as
Lubus
well as
będzie
some of the
farmerem,
information
ja
that you need
pierdolę.
to know about these games. So make sure to
Ja
go ahead and
pierdolę.
subscribe to my channel and
Lubus
turn the
farmerem.
notifications on. And also the most important step of all, make sure that you guys are setting your
No
notification
tam
settings to
nic
all.
bez Game
Because if you
Passa
don't do
stanie.
that, there's a broke guys YouTube platform that
Tam
just
jest
don't send
jakaś
you guys the
oferta chyba, nie?
notifications of my daily videos. So make sure you do it. And also if you guys could just take a few seconds of your time and just go ahead and drop a like on this video, that would really help me out as a content creator. Because your support and your likes is what basically just motivates me in order to make more
Tylko
content
kurwa,
for
nie
you
wiem czy w
guys.
Game Passie
Every
będziesz
single
mógł
day without fail. So
moda,
please
musisz
just take
moda
a few
tego
seconds.
zainstalować
Sure,
w ogóle.
support them really mean a lot to me. With that being said, lads, I hope you guys have a
Zainstalować
wonderful rest of
grę,
your day.
moda
And I'll see
i
you
dopiero
guys
będziesz
on
mógł
tomorrow's video.
dołączyć.
Till then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.
Imprezka? Chrupnij krakersy Lace Oven Baked. Doskonały smak i 35% pełnego ziarna.
The Last of Us remake is finally happening. It seems like it's not very long before Naughty Dog decides to go ahead and reveal the ball and show us the first ever trailer of what The Last of Us remake is going to look like on the PlayStation 4.
Przyda się
Now,
pomóc,
a lot of
przyda.
people are confused on why Naughty Dog has decided to make a Last of Us remake version, whereas we already have a remaster version and then an original version on the PS3, and then which got ported to the PS4 with a remastered version, and now with the PS5. What else is left out that Naughty Dog could be doing with a remake version? Whereas they could simply just release a 4K 60 frames per second update for the PS5 and get all of the Last of Us fans to play the game once again on the current gen consoles as well. But according to Eurogamer's Alex Battaglia, he seems to have given us some information on what this whole changes could be for the Last of Us remake version that Naughty Dog is currently working on. And as far as what
Co ja to dzisiaj tak wyrywkowo będę streamował, nie wiem w jakiej godzinie. Teraz coś porobię, zaraz coś pójdę innego porobię. Może wejdę jeszcze znowu na jakieś te godziny. Nie wiem czy będę o 15, więc... No, myślę, że w lipcu nadal będę grał. Chociaż będę na obozy jeździł. Może mnie nie być tam z tydzień, dwa. Na kierownicą się najlepiej.
On how everything works. Now, comparing The Last of Us Part 1 with The Last of Us Part 2's, both of these games have major differences when it comes to gameplay aspects.
Podobno z kierownicą najlepiej się da.
Miles away from the Part 1's gameplay, and that is of course for the better. And I think that's exactly what Naughty Dog is trying to bring to the table here. Since the success of The Last of Us Part 2 was absolutely fantastic, a lot of Sony fans did receive the game very well. It seems like now they've dedicated themselves in order to release a remake version where they're going to make the entire gameplay look like The Last of Us Part 2. And also according to Alex, it seems like Naughty Dog is going to choose to make some of the gameplay differences compared to The Last of Us Part 2, because there were a lot of things in Part 2 that some players
W większości codziennie, ale najczęściej 10, 2 godzinki, 13, 2 godzinki. Ale nie tylko farminga gram, nie? To prawda, rzadko. I wieczorkami w LOLka z kolegami. Wieczorkami z LOLa z kolegami. A tak to rano 10. Ostatnio gram w Połę. Balninja, Apexa.
So that's something that fans were not really able to accept, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons as to why a lot of people have been hating the character Abby. Now this is basically because Naughty Dog failed in order to just prove how the character Abby is going to be taking effect effective in the last first part one, so that players could feel attached to these characters before they could go ahead and just control these characters and kill the main character of the game itself. But this is of course something that needs to be fixed, and I think Naughty Dog is currently working on that with the last few
roleplaya próbowałem kiedyś, ale nie gram.
We are most likely going to be receiving a brand new trailer or teaser for this game very
Jak nie jesteś dużym streamerem, to na tych zwykłych roleplayach słabo to wygląda. W zwykłych serwach.
Video games in general, all the leaks,
ale bawiłem się w to chwilę.
Every single thing will be available right here on my channel first, so make sure to go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn the notifications on, and most important step of all, make sure that you guys are setting the notification settings to all, because if you don't do that to the ROK YouTube platform, they just don't send you guys the notifications of my daily videos, so make sure you guys do it. And also if you guys could just take a few seconds of your time and just drop a big fat like on this video, that would really mean a lot to me as a content creator. It does help my channel out a ton. So if you guys could just do that, that would really help me out a lot as a content creator. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.
Wiem, ale mówię, content jest chujowy, jeżeli chodzi jak nie jesteś dużym streamerem i nie grasz na tych czołowych, tych roleplayowych serwerach, to tam chujowo jest podcast mniejszy. Dużo przypału.
Boost for the next gen consoles, meaning the PS5 and Xbox Series X, both the consoles are going to be able to unlock 60 frames per second, apart from just being locked at 30 before. And now it seems like the update size is going to be 2 to 8 gigabytes for different platforms. Now this is where all the sketchy stuff starts in, because it seems like Ubisoft is not only just releasing a 60 frames per second update, it seems like they're also adding in a couple of other hidden content that's going to be available in the game later on, as they seem to be unlocking it over time, because that's something Ubisoft has been doing lately by just including all of the updates and content into the pre-patch and then releasing them as per the scheduled release dates. And now it seems like Assassin's Creed Origins is going to have much more than just 60 frames per second, because if you take a look at the size of the patch notes that Ubisoft has provided us, it seems like the update is going to go live on June 2nd on 2 p.m. CST and 8 a.m. Eastern time. And the patch size basically states that on PC it's going to have 2.9 gigs of a download size, and for the Xbox One it is 3 gigs, and PlayStation 4 basically has 8.2 gigs of download size, which we have absolutely no idea on what this is. And as of now they haven't really
Lubus, ja tego Wild Drifta mam. Ja w niego grałem sobie, tylko nie rankedów za dużo nie grałem, wiesz? Więc jak będę miał wolny czas, sobie zobaczę. Ale grać raczej nie będzie, bo ja na telefonie nie lubię grać. Więc nie jaram. Na LoLu mnie częściej spotkasz raczej, nie? Wild Drifta to nie. Na telefonie nie lubię grać. Fabix, ja na takim zwykłym serwerze próbowałem zdać Listę, to zadali mi takie pytania, że nie zdałem, nie? Za bardzo się nie przygotowałem, to też trzeba przyznać. Jak się przygotujesz, to myślę, że pytania są powtarzalne. A oglądasz Fabix tego roleplaya często?
Unfortunately, Ubisoft did not introduce the ray tracing technology for the next-gen consoles, and that seems to be one of the biggest lacklusters for Assassin's Creed games these days, because even with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, there hasn't been any proper ray tracing enabled for these games, and that's something that lacks for the PC version, as well as for the consoles, the PS5 and Xbox Series X, and I think that is something that Ubisoft should be introducing with their upcoming Assassin's Creed games, as well as we move on to the next-generation consoles here. Now, what do you guys think, since we have 8.2 gigs of a download size for Assassin's Creed Origins update that's dropping tomorrow? Do you think it's just a 60 FPS
Nie wiedziałem, czy na te pole mogę
right
wjechać.
now, or do you think that Ubisoft has secretly added in more content for Origins that's going to be unlocked over time in the coming months? What do you guys think about this? Let me know down below in the comments. Do you guys strongly believe that Origins could finally be getting more content in the year 2022? Because it's been years since this game
Ja
has
różnie.
come out,
Rian,
and now the main
X,
focus for
Bujaszka,
Ubisoft has been
Zadymaczka,
Valhalla,
Kisiela.
and the year 2's post-launch
Masz
content
Adams i różni inni. Tak, okej. Ani jednego z tych streamerów nie znam. Ja tylko Evrona na przykład oglądałem i tam kilka osób na jego streamie, jak Mr. Creative i taki typ. Buliego kiedyś oglądałem, jak to grał. Co za dymaczka.
When they end up releasing Infinity as this final one Assassin's Creed game that's going to link every single one of those. So let me know down below in the comments, what do you guys think? Would you like to see more content for Assassin's Creed Origin? And if at all you would like to see, would you like to see Hidden Ones content, or would it be some kind of a mythological DLC expansion or any unrealistic stuff added to the game? Or would you like to see an all-in Dawn of Ragnarok kind of style, a complete mythological realm and something that's very unrealistic and does not really stick to the authenticity of Assassin's Creed.
Zadymeczka, okej. Ja właśnie jak ogarnę, jak przyjadę do Polski, będę chciał ogarnąć grę w GTA. GTA Roleplay, rozumiem. Do powodzenia. Ja już to tak nie zaciekawiło. Ale oglądanie czasami jest fajne. A, jeszcze Paga oglądałem z GTA.
Make sure that you guys are setting your notification settings to all, because if you don't do that, then the Bro Guys YouTube platform, they don't send you guys notifications of my daily videos. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that. With that being said, if you guys go on and enjoy this video, then make sure to go ahead and smack a big fat like on this video, because your support is absolutely appreciated and it does help the channel a lot. It also helps me as a content creator, since I do make videos for you guys every single day. It kind of does motivate me. So your support is really appreciated. With that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.
Szybki lunch w pracy, w domu czy na uczelni. Weź Bonduel.
Ale tam bardzo długo się nic nie robi, wiesz?
Ubisoft is releasing a brand new Assassin's Creed.
Akcja trwa 2 minuty, a 2 godziny nic nie robi.
Ubisoft is finally going to make an official announcement with a brand new teaser as well as a trailer for the game. Now previously we had a lot of leaks regarding Assassin's Creed.
O, Platynowa też oglądałem, ale to pojem. Przestałem. Ten to dobry pojem. Platyna.
Of Assassin's Creed Rift, but now it seems like
Debil na
Ubisoft
ostro,
has
to
changed their
potęgięte.
minds, and Basim is no longer going to be the protagonist of Assassin's Creed Rift, and this is the brand new report that we have recently got according to the new leaks that Ubisoft has been working on, which basically states that we know Ubisoft is working on 2 new Assassin's Creed games at the moment. One being the live service, which is Assassin's Creed Infinity, the bigger game that Ubisoft is so-called going to be working on, one of their biggest projects ever. And then the other one, which is reportedly a smaller game like Assassin's Creed Unity, which is already codenamed as Assassin's Creed Rift. Now, originally Assassin's Creed Rift was meant to be DLC for Valhalla, but Ubisoft decided to turn it into a standalone game that will tide gamers over until the launch of Infinity. But according to the brand new leak that
Zapraszam, Lubi, zapraszam.
it seems like the game is going to take place in 980 and it's going to take place
Pole trzeba umie zaorać, dawaj.
And the leak also states that the game was originally meant to star Basim from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. However, the report now claims that is no longer the case. Ubisoft has decided to go with a brand new protagonist for the game, a brand new storyline. It's no longer going to involve Basim or even anything related to Assassin's Creed Valhalla itself. Now, this is going to be a completely different game, and it also says that Assassin's Creed Rift is also going to be a callback to older games in the series. So players won't be able to explore the giant open world, by which they basically mean that the open world of this game is not going to be vastly major like what we have seen with Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla.
Człowieku, ja jeszcze odpowiednio do tego muzy sobie odpalę.
Assassin's Creed games like Unity and
tak zwany chillek.
So that kind of open world game. And instead, the game is going to be tied together by smaller hubs, and each with its own unique.
Z tego co widziałem, Lubus, na twoich streamach, to fajeczkę jakąś tam. Czytałem. Papierosa elektronicznego chyba, nie?
Is great news already. And now the report claims that Assassin's Creed Rift is now a full AAA game which is being led by
tam na
Ubisoft
chyba leci.
and Ubisoft Toronto. And the game is set to be revealed during the upcoming Xbox Showcase event, which is going to take place this month as well as the coming months. So we are finally going to get to see the next Assassin's Creed games reveal trailer. It seems like the first Xbox Showcase is going to take place on June 12th.
Najlepszy platyną, bo największy debil. Ewentualnie czy coś innego ci się w nim podoba.
So it seems like we're finally getting closer to the official launch as well as our official brand new trailer that could be dropping. So let me know in the comments what kind of a protagonist would you guys like
Będzie
to see
szczególnie tylko w
for
FPS-ie.
Assassin's Creed Rift. Since the game is now set in Baghdad, what do you guys think the storyline and things are going to be related to? And now, according to the leaks, it says that Ubisoft is now going to be focusing more towards a linear.
No kwiecień to jest taki miesiąc, gdzie te największe 2 pola robię i one trwają najdłużej, mi ten kwiecień trwa.
Everything is now going to be related to Assassins and classic Assassins vs. Templar storyline. And the best thing ever is that they are finally returning the parkour system of this game. It is one of the best things that I've heard. And also I'm kind of happy that we are not going to be playing as Basim because I'm already tired of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I played the game, I've seen the story. I think we've already experienced a lot of Vikings and the hidden ones already with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And now I want to be experiencing something completely new. I would love to go back to old school Creed games and also get to know a brand new character, brand new assassin being introduced to the franchise. So that would of course be a big win-win if Ubisoft does end up deciding those. And also, I have one big question for all of you guys who are watching this video.
Ja na przykład nie puszczam muzyki na streamie, bo zapisy robię wodów. I kurwa zawsze blokady są jakieś, nie? Kurwa, ja myślałem za dymeczka, że to jest dziewczyna. O, drama, a dzieci to uwielbiają, nie? Takie rzeczy dorosłe. A to facet jest ten za dymeczka? Ach, chyba nie. Dzięki za followka. Ten za dymeczka to taki ciekawy content ma.
Then please let your feedbacks known in the comments because it does really matter. And if you guys are looking for a YouTube channel that basically covers all the upcoming information about open world games as well as Assassin's Creed, because that is what the main jam is all about for this channel, so make sure to go ahead and subscribe to this channel for daily news and informations and leaks about all the upcoming open world games, and make sure that you guys are setting the notification settings to all, because if you don't do that, then the broadcast YouTube platform, they're not going to be sending you guys the notifications of my daily videos. So make sure you guys
to trochę inaczej ten nick powinien być nazwy, inaczej. Wiesz, tam ludzie nie mają. Robią, streamerzy robią to, co się ludziom podoba, takie rzeczy się ludziom podobają. Jakby tego nie robi, to ciekawe, czy by się wybił, nie? Ile ma w ogóle widzów?
Being a content creator and having to see all the support that you guys show is absolutely the best thing that could ever happen to us. So please just take a few seconds, drop a like, that would really mean a lot. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.
No właśnie, ja Evrona to lubię pooglądać, to też debil do potęgi MT. No to ten 400 to już nieźle. Ale Evron to ma, wiesz, po 6-8 tysięcy, nie? Evron to chyba największy streamer. Tylko, że Evron też jest znany z tego, Fortnite'a, czy Minecrafta. I też gra gry, w których dzieciaki grają, nie? 400, no to nieźle. Za dymeczką. Ja lubię też pooglądać streamy z perspektywy policjanta.
Assassin's Creed Hearsay is the brand new lore that Ubisoft has just revealed, and in the future they're going to be making this into a game where for the very first time we will now be able to play as the head of Abstergo.
To co robi w takim razie powinien mieć troszkę
Ubisoft
inaczej.
has given us a ton of information about the protagonist and what kind of a storyline are they going to be taking this game into, according to what the lore and the story say so far. It seems like we're going to be playing as a character named Simon Hathaway, who's basically a member of Templar Inner Sanctum, which means that we are of course going to be playing as a Templar character. Now previously in every single Assassin's Creed games, all that we have seen is that we're going to be able to play as an assassin, and with Assassin's Creed Rogue, we actually did play as an assassin, but then he turned into a Templar and went rogue against his own cult here. Now with this game, with Hearsay, it seems like we're going to be starting off the entire game playing as a Templar and controlling the memories of his ancestors, who is also another Templar. Now Ubisoft here says that Simon Hathaway is going to be a member of Templar's Inner Sanctum, and he's also a really cool head and detached manner to his new role as head of Abstergo Industry. Now this of course means that Assassin's Creed Hearsay will have a lot more content for the modern day here, since the character Simon that we're going to be controlling is going to be the
Ale najbardziej to uwielbiałem oglądać Bulliego. On był komendantem. Mega zorganizowany. Bardziej oglądałem, przyglądałem się, jak on to organizuje, i to mnie ciekawiło. Bully. On ostatnio w ogóle nie streamuje. Czy Bully, zobaczę go.
Who is the Templar that Simon is going to be controlling using his ancestral memories, and the game is going to be set in the 14th century during the 100 Years of War between France and England. And it is also said that the storyline is going to take place where the Templar Gabriel Lexart is going to be fighting alongside the legendary Joan of Arc. Now for those of you guys who don't know who Joan of Arc is, she's basically known as the heroine of France, who apparently plays her role in the Siege of Orleans, and she alone leads an entire army of France into the war and ends up being victorious against England. So she then was considered as heroine of France. And since now we will be able to play as Gabriel the Templar, we're also going to be fighting alongside Joan of Arc. Now Ubisoft here says that Abstergo Entertainment has basically found out a brand new system which is unlike that what we've seen with Assassin's Creed games in previous ones. And this apparently seems to be something new according to them, and this is what they had to say when he enters the newly designed Animus for its initial project. Simon finds himself unprepared for what he has to discover. How deep the conflict between the Templars and Assassins goes, what Gabriel will do for the woman he both loves and reverses. And the most dangerous truth of all, who is the heretic and who is the true believer. Now this of course seems like the game is going to be originated in more
czasami nie spałem do trzeciej, bo ciekawe rzeczy się działy.
day and age basically means. And we're going to be having a lot of story that is going to be related to Jesus, because Joan of Arc is a huge believer, and that's one of the reasons why she led the entire army of France, believing that she has some kind of a divine support from Jesus himself, and that's basically how they won the entire war against England. So yeah, since this game is also set in the same time period with all of these legendary characters, it also means that we might be seeing a bunch of stuff that is related to gods, Jesus, and a bunch more
taki główny wymień.
also be possible. And of
Kogo
course, we don't
oglądasz
really
tak?
know
Te 3-4
on
osoby
when this
wymień.
game could
Które
possibly
najbardziej
end up
ci się
being made.
podobają.
And of course, we don't have any confirmation from Ubisoft if they are currently working on this game or not. All that they have provided us so far is that the storyline of this game,
Claudia
the character
Croft,
or the
nie
protagonist of
kojarzę.
this game is going to be, and we're going to be playing as Templar according to the lore here, because every single Assassin's Creed
Dobra,
game
my
starts
jesteś
from a
regularnie,
lore
to
that Ubisoft
jesteśmy
creates and
pewni.
releases
Pomiń
before they
tą
turn
część.
that into a game over time in a couple of years now. And if at all Assassin's Creed Hearsay does end up releasing, then it would most likely be released as an add-on content for Assassin's Creed Infinity, which is said to be the upcoming big deal for Ubisoft, where they're going to be combining a bunch of other Assassin's Creed games, all of them together as one. So this is most likely how they're going to be handling all the upcoming
To też jest hicik z tym spaniem. Ja na przykład Amorat, taka streamerka chyba amerykańska, też właśnie streamuje jak śpi, nie? To plus ASMR to są masakra. Albo w tych basenach co siedzą, to jest hicik. Claudia Croft, czekaj.
Assassin's Creed games into just one hub where you have everything available right there. So that seems like this is what Ubisoft plans here. Let me know down below in the comments which setting would you guys like to see for the next Assassin's Creed game to be set if the game is supposed to be coming for Assassin's Creed Infinity. Me personally though, if Ubisoft is watching this, then you guys should probably know that I absolutely would love to see a game set in India, China, or Japan. Now China is already confirmed. If you guys haven't watched my yesterday's video, go ahead and watch that because Ubisoft has already given us storyline information about the protagonist and stuff like that. So that lore is already made, set, and ready to go to be made into a game anytime they want to. And now we're moving on with the hearsays. And now we're moving on with the Assassin's Creed hearsay, which is set during the 100 Years of War. So there's so much lore, there is so much content coming for Assassin's Creed. So just keep your eyes peeled and get ready for more information, because I will of course keep you guys updated right here on my channel. So every single information that you need about all the upcoming Assassin's Creed games, as well as all the open world titles, the leaks and information about open world games is available right here first on my channel. So make sure to go ahead, subscribe to my channel, and turn the notifications on. And the most important step of all, make sure that you guys are setting the notification settings to all, because if you don't do that, the ROK YouTube platform, they just don't send you guys the notifications of my daily videos. So make sure you guys do it. And if you guys did go on and enjoy this video, then please just take a few seconds of your time and drop a like on this video. It would really help me out as a content creator. It helps my channel out, it helps the videos. So if you guys could just take a few seconds of your time and just leave
też tam był taki hicik w tych, co śpią, że jak będą donate, to śpią godzinę dłużej, nie? O, jest hicik. Dobra, bo się tutaj nasz Blackwoods kończył. Ja tu mogę jeszcze posłuchać. Asmon Golda, coś ciekawego wrzucił ostatnio. Jest tu Donkey Anti. No znaczy co, Diablo 4, Asmon Gold.
Why you should be concerned about Diablo 4.
A zaraz pojadę kupię nawóz, kurwa, zapomniałem włożyć.
Hopefully they make the game pay to win enough to where I can win.
Powinien kupować ten nawóz.
If Diablo 4 comes out and it's pay to win, minimum we drop 10 grand. Minimum. Like I'm talking about like the absolute, like that's like day 1, day 2 shit, right?
So we got a pretty major update for Diablo 4 this
during
the Xbox Bethesda event. They revealed a brand new class, the
Botmarki. Tego to słyszałem, ale nie oglądałem.
showcase, giving us a sneak peek.
Co oni robią, ci trzej streamerzy? Co grają?
And man, should I say, it looks fantastic. Gameplay and visuals have come a long way since the initial reveal in 2019. Everything looks super smooth, high fidelity. I love dark tone of the world, and there's a real nice variety of landscapes and environments that they showed as well. But not only do the gameplay and visuals look really sharp, but they touched on some really cool features. A full open world where we can explore as we please, riding between different biomes.
To jak Bonkol, ja muszę Bonkola oglądam i on też skacze po grach.
Strongholds that will turn into towns or dungeons, completing side quests and local events. There are massive world boss fights, and diving into any of the over 150 different dungeons. I
don't believe there's going to be 150 different dungeons.
A to są typki z tego twojego studia, czy nie?
30 maybe dungeons, and there's going to be different variations of that. That's all there is to it. Yeah, that's what I think. Like what do you guys think? Yeah, it feel different? Yeah, I do. I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, with procedural generation or something like that. Absolutely.
While hunting for loot. There's also a non-linear story that we can approach in whatever order we want. I am kind of curious how that's going to work for narrative consistency, but I'm sure they'll figure something out. Also, story kind of minimal importance to me. There is a full free-for-all PvP zones in the game where you'll battle other players for rewards. There's even this champion system where the best players will get marked on the map as high-value targets. Tons of character customization and an end game that they say will be
23% za jedno jest użycie nawozu?
progression. While most of this wasn't new information, it was great to get an update and see the progress that they've made in the past few years. In fact, my immediate instinct was to be super hyped. Of course, I mean, why not? This looks great. Everything they're...
I'm sorry, but like, again, I just, like, maybe it's because I'm like a much bigger neckbeard, but like, I really am not super hyped for Diablo 4. Yeah, I'm sorry, like, I'm not crazy, like, I'm just, I feel like the game is gonna be mediocre.
Showing here looks fantastic. Diablo 4 seems to be making big strides in a positive direction. The game
thing is, like, the gameplay looks good. I'll give you that for sure. But like, how long does something looking good make you want to play it? I don't know, like maybe 10 hours, 20 hours, and then it's like the problem with a lot of Blizzard games nowadays is that they're not developed well.
Ile kosztuje nawóz w ogóle?
Like the first 20 or 30 hours of a Blizzard game, I think every single time, even with Shadowlands, maybe you guys can get upset about this, even with Diablo Immortal, I think the first few hours of playing the game are really good. They're high quality gameplay experience hours. The problem is that the games completely fall off the cliff. The end game is half-baked, the design decisions are stupid, and it's just badly designed and it's repetitive and boring. That's what I don't like about it, more than everything else. And
Tylko wiki, okay.
The end game's awful.
A lot more modern with many of the features that they're adding. Personally, I love the more MMO-like direction they're taking,
agree with this
bumping
a lot.
into other players in the world, having fun.
I think this is a huge thing. I was really happy. I remember whenever I played Lost Ark, I was thinking to myself, like, man, I wish Diablo was so cool. Like, I wish PoE had more MMO features. Like, it would be really cool if you could go to, like,
czekam aż dobrą rangę jakąś
like,
wbijesz.
inspect people and, like, show off cool gear, etc. I'm not saying,
Jak
like,
będziesz top 10, to zacznę regularnie oglądać.
I'm just saying, like, areas where you can interact and see other players. I think that's really cool. So I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Like, it's one of those things that takes away nothing from the game. It just adds in a little bit extra features. Yeah, social hubs are a universal positive for the game. There's nothing bad about them.
PvP zones, world bosses, dynamic events and zones that change based on what you do. I mean, all of this sounds like a dream for someone like me. And again, the gameplay and the visuals look as good as ever. But try as I might, I just cannot muster any sincere enthusiasm for this game at this point. And not because I don't think Diablo 4 looks good, not that I think it won't be a competent game that's fun to play, at least for a little while, but mostly because...
Well, I think it'll be fun for a while, like, definitely. And it's the same thing with Overwatch 2 that we watched. I mean, like, I'll be honest, the trailer for the Junker Queen wasn't really super cool. It was okay. Like, it wasn't like
przede mną te jeszcze w tym miesiącu te duże pole. Sorgo to trzeba zasiać. A już godzina 40 ten miesiąc. Masakra.
Like, it was no... I'm trying to think, like, why was it bad? I think that it was bad. It's like, it was partially bad because it kind of played into, like, a lot of, like, tropes where it's like the strong female character and, like, the drunk. Honestly, it basically was a parable of Blizzard.
Olać tego typa. Przerzucę się na moje inne konto. Coś o piłce nożnej posłucham. Kanał sportowy. Dełko. I wiemy playlisty. Sortuj według. Data dodania od najnowszego. A jest moc wyboru. Dobra. Troszkę futbolu.
Dzień dobry moi kochani, jak co poniedziałek witam was bardzo serdecznie i z wielką energią zapraszam na moc futbolu. Jak co poniedziałek dzisiaj influencerski głos w waszych domach i zakładach pracy i nie tylko, bo zobaczcie, mamy prośbę o specjalne pozdrowienia dla zakonników oglądających z odtworzenia. Serdeczne szczęść Boże, ale też specjalnie serdeczne pozdrowienia dzisiaj wyjątkowe dla całej reprezentacji Polski w AmpFootballu. Wygrany AmpFootball Cup i to jeszcze w finale.
Pozdrawiam, dzięki za obecność. Ja będę kończył za 20 minut i później się odpalę jakoś może za godzinę, za dwie znowu. To chyba wtedy w PoE sobie pogram, bo tam mam kilka rzeczy do zrobienia. Coś to do usłyszenia.
Szykująca się do Mistrzostw Świata w Turcji.
Dzięki, że byłeś.
Włochy i tak dalej. Wielkie gratulacje. A mocy dzisiejszej mocy futbolu będą wam dostarczać Janusz Michalik, ekspert
Zawsze umilasz ten czas.
Krzysztof Marciniak, komentator Kanał Plus oraz Mateusz Borek, kanał sportowy, którego głosem jestem trochę zaniepokojony. I powiedz, Mati, od tego zaczynamy. Czy to jest jeszcze efekt tego 1-6 z Belgią? Czy ty kiedyś skomentowałeś tyle rzuconych do polskiej siatki bramek?
Nie. Znaczy ja nie mogę w ogóle mówić. Muszę wam powiedzieć, że od paru dni mnie trzyma jakieś chyba zapalenie krtani. Samoloty, klimatyzację, zmiana temperatury cały czas, więc zaraz poprowadamy do jakiegoś lekarza i nawet będzie musiał Janusz z kimś innym skomentować mecz albo...
No właśnie, bo wy we dwójkę macie, miał być debiut tego składu na antenie.
Ja na tą chwilę nie jestem w stanie na pewno pracować, więc byłem wczoraj po powrocie z Rotterdamu na przepięknym koncercie. Jimka z polskimi hip-hopowcami. Historia polskiego hip-hopu symfonicznie na bemowie, ale mój głos absolutnie nie jest konsekwentny.
No widzę, właśnie uciekłeś na chwilę. Lubus już uciekł. Muszę dzieciaki ogarnąć, więc jesteś sam.
Nie skomentowałem nigdy 6 bramek straconych wcześniej.
Na czym tu skończyliśmy nasze rozmowy? A ja w tle rzuciłem kanał sportowy. Troszkę o piłce nożnej. Program Moc Futbolu.
Może historia zatoczy. Dzisiaj Mati, tydzień temu.
To ostatnie 20 minut, nie? Później się odpalę jakoś jeszcze po południu. Pewnie, nie jestem pewny, no też mogę wziąć plany. Niedzielkę to taką mam nieregularną. W tygodniu to jest regularnie 10:13 na 2 godzinki. I wieczorem, a w weekendzie to tak wyrywkowo.
Między Belgią a Belgią. Zanim o tym, czego się spodziewać w tym ostatnim meczu, no to trzeba trochę przejść jeszcze do tego blamażu z Belgią, ale też i do reakcji z Holandią. I zacznę pytaniem, które zadał Krzysztof Hon. Czy mecz z Niderlandami nie udowodnił, że nie powinniśmy na siłę przygotowywać dań typu bœuf bourguignon, crème brûlée, czy podrabiać belgijskie czekolady, ale być dumni ze swojego picosu, golonki, a więc grać to, co umiemy, to, co znamy i w czym czujemy się.
To pracuję.
Czy to jest dobre podsumowanie tych dwóch spotkań?
Dosyć dobre, prawda? No bo jednak przez lata chyba wiemy,
a ty, praca czy szkoła?
Nie myślę, że będziemy wirtuozami jakimiś, czy mamy takich zawodników. A wszyscy jako kibice chyba chcemy...
W jakim kraju siedzisz w ogóle?
Troszeczkę lepiej, może nie tylko się broniąc, ale trzeba grać to, co się umie. Szczególnie rozmawialiśmy o trenerze Michniewiczu, wiemy jak on lubi grać, jak potrafił grać z dużymi drużynami w pucharach, prawda, że jednak dobrze w obronie, z konterki, prawda, z dyscypliną. I to zobaczyliśmy w tym meczu, bo to było potrzebne, bo po 6-1 naprawdę nie można gdzieś tam było się otworzyć. Wiadomo, że Holendrzy mogliby zrobić to samo co Belgowie, ale tego nie zrobili. I przy tym trzeba przyznać, że nie tylko, że to było właśnie takie nasze
Szkocji,
rozumiemy, ale też były te fajne akcje. Może ich nie było wiele, no ale umówmy się.
A jak w ogóle słyszałem, że Szkoci są ciężki do zrozumienia, jeżeli chodzi o angielski, to prawda? Mają takie dziwne akcje.
Dużo lepiej, gdzie polska drużyna przejmie grę, tak mi się wydaje.
Zaserwowaliśmy swoje danie popisowe tego schabowego w panierce ze świeżymi ziemniakami, natomiast tak już na poważnie, ja wcale bym nie powiedział, że mecze z Belgią i Holandią się tak bardzo od siebie różniły, jeżeli chodzi o nasz pomysł na grę. To czasami jest taka narracja, która jest ustawiona przez wynik, bo tutaj było 2-2, a tutaj było 1-6 i mamy takie postrzeganie, że to były zupełnie inne mecze. Owszem, my lepiej zagraliśmy w obronie, bardziej konsekwentnie, zamurowaliśmy środek, ale pamiętamy zadowolony, że Skorupski znowu miał świetny dzień, że był niestrzelony rzut karny Memphisa Depaya, że był niepodyktowany rzut karny w pierwszej połowie za faul Grzegorza Krychowiaka. Okoliczności tego meczu mogły być inne, natomiast nie będziemy tutaj ganić reprezentacji za to, że wywiozła z bardzo trudnego terenu cenny punkt.
Jak twój angielski?
Tej rywalizacji Lidzy Narodów, która tam nikogo specjalnie nie grzeje, ale bardziej myślę o czynniku takim drużynotwórczym, o tym, że dostałeś 1-6 i musisz się odbić, musisz mieć jakąś reakcję, żeby pokazać, że jesteś drużyną, która jest zdolna rywalizować z tymi najlepszymi. Natomiast sam pomysł na grę w tych obu meczach jest dosyć zbliżony, jest niestety smutny dla kogoś, kto się spodziewa, że my będziemy Beef Bourguignon tutaj podawać, serwować wykwintne dania.
Paulo Sousa próbował, prawda?
Paulo Sousa próbował. Dzisiaj my się trochę zatrzymaliśmy się trochę w połowie drogi, bo Paulo Sousa miał jakiś swój pomysł, miał za zadanie rozwijać tych piłkarzy pod tym kątem. Grajcie odważnie, nie bójcie się grać przeciwko największym.
Brawo, ważna rzecz w dzisiejszych czasach znać angielski.
Czy z Hiszpanią, czy z Anglią, które na jakiś pewno.
Dzień dobry, nazywam się Konrad i w dzisiejszym filmiku przedstawię Wam nową serię.
Dawka optymizmu w nas wlewały, że my możemy grać na równym poziomie, ale teraz troszeczkę z tej drogi zawróciliśmy i wróciliśmy do korzeni, które być może bardziej tej drużynie po prostu pasują, że jeżeli zagramy konsekwentnie, jesteśmy...
Na ile wyjeżdżasz w ogóle za granicę? Czy regularnie?
Jeżeli chodzi o nasze dwa pierwsze wypady. No ile razy w życiu Ci się zdarza taki mecz, że masz dwa strzały celne i dwa lądują w sieci, więc wiele okoliczności spowodowało, że my osiągnęliśmy dobry wynik z Holandią. Tam w meczu z Belgią było wiele negatywnych okoliczności, ale te dwa mecze dla mnie to jest prognostyk, jak będą wyglądały nasze mecze z drużynami wyżej od nas notowanymi, lepszymi piłkarsko, czyli z Meksykiem, a już na pewno z Argentyną na mundialu.
Czy kilka aspektów. Po pierwsze to śmialiśmy się, że na szczęście trzeba zapracować.
No właśnie.
Wydaje mi się, że na przykład przy takiej końcówce za kadencji Jerzego Brzęczka skończyłoby się 2-5. Rzut karny i dwie sytuacje 100%. No, Czesław ma jednak sporo szczęścia w takich sytuacjach i kończy się ten mecz 2-2. Druga sprawa. Tak jak trener planuje pewną wariantowość taktyczną w ustawieniu w swoim zespole.
Tu dużo więcej siedzisz za granicą.
My dzisiaj ani nie powinniśmy dążyć do tego, żeby za wszelką cenę próbować udowodnić światu lepszemu od nas piłkarsko.
Ale na końcu się pewnie zgadza.
Ani też nie możemy się tłumaczyć do końca, że naszym jedynym DNA to jest gra
W Szkocji się w funtach zarabia?
rywala. Jak się robi mniej
To tak,
miejsc, są lepsi piłkarze i gra jest szybsza, no to wiadomo, że my musimy się skoncentrować na tym graniu sposobem.
Jaki jest teraz kurs w ogóle w
Z
funtach?
zawieszoną defensywą, z mądrością środka pola i z wypadem w kontrataku. Natomiast no też wydaje mi się, że jesteśmy dzisiaj na tyle solidną drużyną europejską, mającą w swoim składzie takich zawodników jak na przykład, nie wiem, Robert Lewandowski, Piotr Zieliński, Nikola Zalewski. Zacząłem jakby celowo od tych trzech zawodników, bo jednak
W Polsce byś tyle nie zarobił.
Holandia czy Belgia ma nad nami przewagę w kulturze gry, to my musimy mieć, mając takich zawodników, przewagę w kulturze gry nad drużynami od nas słabszymi, więc no pewnie będą mecze, gdzie my będziemy mieć posiadanie, gdzie będziemy tworzyć sytuacje i ten element też trzeba cały czas konsekwentnie ćwiczyć, a są mecze, gdzie po prostu będziemy musieli grać sposobem, sprytem, szybkością.
A funt szkocki to jeszcze jakieś
Dorzuciłbym jeszcze jedną rzecz do tego, co mówi Mateusz, bo warto przeanalizować, ja to sobie zrobiłem, jak wyglądały nasze te bramkowe
To jest taki sam jak przeliczenie na złotówki jak funt brytyjski, czy inaczej?
Strzela Mati Cash, ale w polu karnym i w jego okolicy mamy 6 zawodników. To nie jest przypadek przerzut Zalewskiego, otwarcie drugiej strony, więc to już samo w sobie jest jakaś akcja trenowana, która wiadomo na każdym poziomie starasz się wprowadzać w życie.
Nie słyszałem nigdy o punkcie szkockim, więc mnie zaskoczyłeś.
Ci ludzie poszli tam, bo wiedzieli, że z tej sytuacji może być gol. W drugiej sytuacji jest podobnie. Przecież tam wychodzimy konterką, ale
ile to jest,
momentami, kiedy
jaki jest kurs teraz funta?
Od razu dwóch zawodników rusza na wolne pole. No więc my mieliśmy pomysł, co zrobić z piłką, tylko robiliśmy to bardzo, bardzo rzadko, bo po prostu takie były okoliczności.
Nie mogę odżałować sytuacji z drugiej połowy, kiedy wychodzimy przy stanie 2-2 6 i kończy to Krychowiak strzałem z 16 metrów w ręce.
Znowu tam
to była absolutnie sytuacja, gdzie mamy przewagę liczebną do rozegrania, nie wiem,
spokojnie, błędy się zdarzają.
Musi dołożyć.
Jaki jest kurs?
Mnie to się podoba,
Kojarzysz?
że już przez kilka meczy, już nie mówię teraz tylko, potrafimy ukąsić i to tak dobrze. I nie zawsze tak było, że wiadomo, że dziś te bramki były, ale potrafimy to zrobić.
4-8.
I co najbardziej mi się podobało w tym meczu, właśnie
4-8 to
że
nieźle.
2 wyglądało, że znowu będzie 2-5, tak jak Mati powiedział, ale był tam okres, pamiętacie, po straceniu drugiej bramki, że naprawdę pograliśmy, nie wiem ile to było, 10 minut, czy może mniej, może 7, ale w każdym razie jednak żeśmy to uspokoili i było tam trochę gry pozycyjnej, takiej w porządku, także akcja, reakcja, jak to mówimy, bo nikt nie wierzy, że ktoś pomyślał, że po tym 6-1 będzie taki wynik. I teraz jest kwestia taka, i ja sam nie jestem na 100% pewny, jak to działa, czy Holendrzy byli tacy słabi, czy my nie daliśmy im grać, bo my mimo to, że nie graliśmy do przodu za dużo, ale nie daliśmy im na bokach pograć. W środku gdzieś tam to wyglądało, umówmy się, bezpiecznie, ale naprawdę oni mieli tam problemy.
Znaczy nie możemy mówić, że Holandii się nie chciało. Pamiętajmy, tak, Holandia
Bardzo się zmienia?
Pierwszym garniturem wypoczętym przed
Co
własną
ma skoki takie duże? Duże różnice?
Od 19 meczów.
Wygrywają wszystko.
Do ilu spada?
Wygrywają wszystko, walą tam każdego ci Holendrzy. Ja się cieszę, że to jest kolejny mecz, który też daje nam do myślenia i w którym trener zaryzykował, bo jednak dzisiaj możemy powiedzieć, chłopak gra w Specji. No ale kto z nas prognozował, że w takim meczu dostanie debiut Kiwior i wydaje mi się, że zagra
3 to słabo.
problemami zwrotności.
No jak 4 i 8 na 3 spada, czy coś.
Takich zawodników. Szukałem takiego tweeta, bo
I teraz myślę, że w aktualnej sytuacji politycznej skoki są większe. Bo niepewność jest względem na te wojny.
Nacięta piłka od Nicole, przyjęcie kierunkowe, uderzenie na centymetry, kasz. No to nie ma szkolenia w Polsce.
Ale jeszcze przejdziemy do Kuby Kiwiora i do pozostałych zawodników. Właśnie oprócz tych krytyków, tych doradców dla Czesława Michniewicza.
I na pewno wygranym Franek. Bo trzeba powiedzieć, że to jest piłkarz, którego nie było w kadrze meczowej u Michniewicza. Był w ostatnim meczu, nie wszedł. Tutaj dostał szansę na zasadzie, chłopie, chciałeś przyjechać, masz rower, pedału i pokaż. I wydaje mi się, że pokazał.
A zagrać w drugiej połowie.
Ale wiesz, ma możliwości motoryczne, ma możliwości biegowe, ma siłę, także na pewno ten chłopak gdzieś tutaj błyskawicznie przeskoczył w tej
I zagrał na pozycji, na
Czyli
której
4 średnio.
grał pojedyncze,
Tak, dobry
to
przelicznik.
to lewe wahadło.
To jest sobie tak samo jak
jeszcze
Euro,
jedna
nie?
rzecz, to też jak widzimy wzrost Frankowskiego,
Europodobie.
Jóźwiak, który był taką bardzo ważną postacią u poprzedniego selekcjonera, dzisiaj on z kolei jest
A
gdzieś
ładna
tam
jest Szkocja?
w momentach tej...
Ja długo czekałem na Frankowskiego, bałem się, że on już uczesał Michniewicza niczym Sebastian
Takiego
Szymański,
Edynburga to bym się
Paulo
przejechał.
Sousy. To skoro zaczęliśmy...
Czy do Glasgow.
Ale zobacz, jak w piłce się szybko wszystko dzieje. Przed tym meczem mogliśmy sobie odtwarzać rajd Jóźwiaka na Śląskim, tak?
Tak, mecz właśnie z
Holandią. Wtedy się wydawało, że nie wiem, ten chłopak to w ogóle zamknie tę pozycję na najbliższe lata, biorąc pod uwagę jego wiek. No ale piłka nie...
A co ci się podoba?
To jest ile? 9 miesięcy chyba, tak?
Wiktor Burakowski pyta, panowie, kto największym wygranym, kto największym przegranym waszym zdaniem i jak byście tutaj właśnie ułożyli? No, wydawało się po meczu z Walią, że Jakub Kamiński jest największym wygranym już, zobaczcie, kolejny mecz. Też nie ma co jego tutaj bo to cała drużyna zawiodła z Belgią.
Czym innym jest granie, wchodzisz na rezerwową Walię w 60 i masz dać impuls.
Co w tej Szkocji ci się podoba?
A inaczej jak wychodzisz naprzeciwko kozaków, topowych piłkarzy świata w pierwszym składzie na wyjeździe i masz tę grę ciągnąć. Zwłaszcza na innej pozycji. Bo jednak wydaje mi się, że Kamiński jest zawodnikiem, który dużo lepiej wygląda po lewej stronie, gdzie po prostu może ten swój firmowy zwód zrobić do prawej nogi, uderzyć wewnętrzną częścią stopy w kierunku dalszego słupka, natomiast z tej prawej strony taki był lekko, tutaj powiedziałbym, zgaszony i nieobecny.
Ja myślę, że takim człowiekiem, który bardzo zyskał podczas tego zgrupowania jest Szymon Żurkowski z kilku powodów. Janusz powiedział o tym, że reakcja po 2-2, kiedy wydaje ci się, że drużyna przeciwna się rozpędza i on wtedy wchodzi na boisko i moim zdaniem to był najlepszy
A nie jest deszczowo?
w spotkaniu, bo jednak Szymon ma ograniczenia swoje, powiedziałbym, techniczne. Czasami ta piłka mu wpłata figle, ale jeżeli chodzi o mobilność, jeżeli chodzi o pokazywanie się, jeżeli chodzi o stwarzanie
podobny
opcji
jest jak w
podania,
Polsce?
Czesław Michniewicz, będąc trenerem Legii, mówił, ja chcę mieć zawodników mobilnych, biegających w wolne strefy. I Szymon Żurkowski kimś takim jest. Jest sprawdzonym też zawodnikiem z perspektywy młodzieżówki, więc moim zdaniem sam fakt, że on też grał...
Mówię, czy jest podobnie jak w Polsce, czy na przykład nie jest bardziej deszczowo?
I Szymon Żurkowski jest takim zawodnikiem, który będzie nam potrzebny, zwłaszcza biorąc pod uwagę, że nie ma kogoś takiego jak Jakub Moder i że na niego prawdopodobnie w kontekście mundialu nie będziemy mogli liczyć. Także ja bym jako wygranego wskazał właśnie jego.
I pozycyjnie, bo to jest ta wiadomość z Krychowiakiem, no nie można zawsze na niego liczyć, prawda, ale ten mecz pokazał też, że jednak w takich meczach te 4-2-3-1, prawda, tych dwóch defensywnych pomocników, trzeba takiego drugiego. No jest Góralski, ale też nie jesteśmy pewni, jeśli chodzi o niego, czyli trzeba takiego trzeciego zawodnika, na którego można liczyć i on na pewno jest jednym z wygranych. Nie wiem, czy, nie chcę mówić
no właśnie ten klimat wyspiarski tam się odbija, nie? Bo w Anglii też się mówi, że jest deszczowy. Deszczowy Londyn.
Sytuację klubową, znamy nawet sytuację z tego zgrupowania, z tych meczy. Nie wyglądało to za dobrze, chyba żeśmy nawet tu rozmawiali o hierarchii tych zawodników i on gdzieś tam był 4., 5. raczej, prawda? Wiemy, że zawsze jak przyjeżdża na kadrę, to zawsze coś daje. Ale mnie się wydawało, że ten mecz, zresztą mówiłem o tym w studiu przed meczem, że to nie był dla niego mecz. Na wyjeździe z Holandią, gdzie on strzela, jeśli chodzi o grę ofensywną, z 6, 7, 8 metrów.
Dużo pada, no i...
No nie wydawało mi się, że będą jakieś...
Na Amsterdam Arena dopiero co jeden strzał oddał i to był cały jeden strzał Polski oddał.
Ale ta praca, bo wiadomo, że on jest napastnikiem. Może nie powinniśmy rozmawiać na temat, że jak on grał w obronie.
Nie, ale miał takie zadania.
Ale miał jako samotny zawodnik w tym systemie, w tym meczu, na wyjeździe.
Na jesień jest
wydawało mi się, że
chujowo,
to będzie
w lato
taki
ładnie.
mecz. Często oceniamy napastników. No nic złego nie zrobił, ale nic dobrego też nie zrobił, bo nie widział piłki, prawda? I w 60 minucie czy 70 jest zmieniany. Dziękuję bardzo i teraz weź go oceń.
A jak ludzie, Szkoci w ogóle?
Jacy
to są ludzie?
Selekcjonerem, że to jest taki mecz, w którym piątka będziemy przede wszystkim rozliczać z pracy. Z aktywności, z tego, że chce grać, że chce się pokazać, chce pomóc zespołowi, bo dla mnie było oczywistym od samego początku, że jeśli my staniemy głęboko i nie będę miał napastnika, który mi piłkę podtrzyma, zagra pod faul, to ja w tym meczu polegnę, bo cały czas będę miał zespół rywala przed własnym polem karnym, a myślę, że Krzysiek no może nie zrobił niczego spektakularnego w ofensywie, natomiast
taka piłka otwierająca.
Natomiast to był mecz piątka, w którym pokazał etykę pracy, w którym pokazał, że jest w stanie jakby poświęcić swoje takie...
Ja będę kończył.
Snajperskie dla pracy.
Fabis, dzięki za obecność, dzięki za followka i zapraszam na przyszłość. Regularnie streamuję, więc zapraszam, a ja kończę, bo muszę kilka rzeczy zrobić. Jeszcze dzisiaj jak coś to mnie spotkać, myślę, że po południu coś tam wbija. Chyba jakieś tam powiadomionko dostaniesz. W Polsce też to się zmienia, to jest bardziej sympatycznie ludzie reagują. Uciekam, dobra? Cześć.